So here we go, Wildcats to return left to right. The kickoff coming from Austin Vandegrift. It is a pooch kick right down the center of the field. It does bounce. Temple does pick it up outside the 35, and it'll be brought down right about the 37, 38-yard line. A lot of pushing and shoving after the play. The ball did hit the turf, but they're saying that the runner was down for the Wildcats. Didn't even see who was on the return that time. But on the tackle that time for Vandagriff, Cody Walter.
You're going to see a lot of the influence of Coach Blake Mauser, who was on the Temple staff, and that was one of it right there, because he pooch kicks. He's not going to kick deep to these Temple kids that he coached.
Las Vegas Jewelers first and 10 at the 38-yard line for the Wildcats in their own territory as we get going with the state semifinal game. One receiver each side of the formation, and the Wildcats going to start things off. Thought that there was a flag right away, but we're going to go ahead and get restarted. Carr in the backfield to the left of President. Mincher into block on the right side. It's coming right. Carr trying to get to the outside of the near side out across the 40. 9-yard pickup on first down before being brought down on the play. Pickup of 9 brings up a second down and short for the Wildcats.
One step, and he might have been gone.
Walter again on the tackle. President and the Wildcats moving quickly. Turns, gets to Carr. It was a misread. Carr going to the right side, down the right side, inside the 35. Brought down at the 30-yard line by Walter again. Goes from the 47 in Temple territory all the way down to the 30-yard line. Pickup of 22, and that was a busted play, Gene.
Yeah.
Las Vegas Jewelers first and 10. President and the Wildcats moving quickly. Carr's got it going left. Gets to the outside, inside the 30. Cuts it back inside the 25. 20 to the left side. Brought down at the 16-yard line. A pickup of 14 yards and another Las Vegas Jewelers first down. And it's all Jeff Carr on this opening drive. 3 carries, 45 yards.
That's what we was hoping
for. And it's a first down at the 16-yard line. President in the backfield. He's got Hatcher back there. And immediately Vandegrift says, hey, we're calling a timeout here. 11 minutes, 10 seconds left in the first quarter. Scoreless. Wildcats into the red zone. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. You're listening to Temple Wildcats football on KTEM and K1017. Welcome back. You're listening to Temple Wildcats football on KTEM and K1017. Our first quarter brought to you by Smile at the World Orthodontics. Jamie Garrett and Gene Pemberton from the Alamodome. Only 50 seconds into the game, and Vandegrift has to call a timeout as the Wildcats have gone 45 yards on 3 consecutive plays. It's a Las Vegas Jewelers first and 10 at the 16-yard line into the red zone. Hatcher to the left of President in the backfield. Hatcher gets it but falls down, trips in the backfield. That's going to be a loss of a yard, setting up a second down and 11. So the Wildcats, only way they're stopped short of a first down, it seems, is tripping over their own feet in the backfield. So here's President from the gun. Turns, gives it to Hatcher again. Hatcher right up the middle. Tough yards in the middle, pushes the pile forward, down to about the 12-yard line. A pickup of 5, setting up a third down and 6.
I hope Carr didn't get hurt.
He's been at the receiver position a lot, but I don't see him out there. You're right. He's not in the game. Hatcher makes a man miss inside the 10 right at the 10-yard line. Only a pickup of 2 sets up a 4th down and 4 for the Temple Wildcats as Hannon checks into the game. So a big play for the Wildcats offense already as Davion Curtis checks out of the game. 2 receivers right. President from the gun gives it to Hatcher. Hatcher inside. He's got the first down. Inside the 5. Down to the 4-yard line. Pickup of 6 yards. They needed 4. They get 6, and that's a Las Vegas Jewelers first and goal at the 4-yard line.
Good cutback. He cut back to his left against the grain and got the first down.
First and goal. President turns, gives it to Hatcher. Hatcher picking, into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Temple. 10:01 to play in the first quarter. Takes less than 2 minutes for the Wildcats to take it 60-plus yards for the Wes's Burger Shack and more touchdown. 4 yards out. Marcus Hatcher puts the Wildcats on the board.
I'll tell you what, they compliment each other.
So Carr came out after gaining 45 yards on 3 carries. Hatcher comes in, 5 carries, 16 yards, and a 4-yard Wes's Burger Shack and more touchdown run. Extra point is up and good from Cole Martin. 10:01 left in the first quarter. Wildcats lead at 7-0. We'll take a break. Back to the El Chico kickoff next on KTEM and K1017. Welcome back. You're listening to Temple Wildcats football on KTEM and K1017. Jamie Garrett and Gene Pemberton from the Alamodome as the Temple Wildcats have drawn first blood. 10:01 left in the first quarter, and Marcus Hatcher with a 4-yard Wes's Burger Shack and more touchdown run to put the Wildcats up 7-0. Carr, 3 carries, 45 yards, but he did leave the game Didn't see him hobble off or anything. Hatcher came in, ran it 5 times for 16 yards and a touchdown, but he is now being looked at on the sideline. They're looking at his left arm, and hopefully he is all right. Carr's on the bench there. He looks all right, so we'll keep our fingers crossed. Wildcats need to be at full strength. Took less than 2 minutes to take that opening drive. It's time for the El Chico kickoff, brought to you by El Chico on 31st Street in Temple. Stop in for gift cards. Get a $25 gift card and get a free $5 gift card as a thank you. Limit 4. Here's Cole Martin with the kickoff. Left to right, it is a pooch kick. It will be caught at the 31-yard line. Fair catch called for and hauled in, and that's one of their big receivers, Bear Christensen, 6'6", 205 pounds. He is a big target through the air, as is Travis Brannon, their running back, and Paxton Sagina. He is a big threat as well. Both those guys, Christensen and Seguin, with over 1,000 yards receiving. Brannon with another 600. He's got 2,500 on the ground. Here we go, 4 wide, twin receivers each side, and that is the quarterback, Jamie Hudson, out of the shotgun with the back, Brannon to his left. Turns, hands it to Brannon. Brannon gets a little bit of a hole, but turned back. Marquell Davis-Ponce there to stop him after a 3-yard gain. Brings up a 2nd and 7 as the ball goes out to the 34-yard line. Right up the gut, Temple. Pushed off the line just a little bit, but Ponce coming through and making a nice stop. Quickly moving, 2nd and 7 from the gun. Back to pass. Over the far side. Picked off by the Wildcats. Flag on the field on the near side at the 32-yard line. Ball was picked off by Ty McCorkle. But we'll wait and see what the call is from the officials on the near side. Hope it's not an offside.
Well, I hope
on the Wildcats. That is
one
big.
Of the coaches got his hands behind his head. I hope that's not what it is. He's only had 3 interceptions all year. That could be the 4th, but it don't look like.
That will be an interception for the Wildcats.
Yes, it is.
Unfortunately, we don't have a field mic here because, well, it's the Alamodome, and who would expect rosters or field mics? But that is going to be an interception for Ty McCorkle with 9:35 to play in the first quarter. Wildcats lead at 7-0. And here comes that Wildcat offense once again, led by Chad President. We'll get a look and see who's in the backfield. Carr is back out there.
Good.
Hatcher not back out just yet. But the Wildcats lead 7-0. Las Topeka Jewelers 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. As McCorkle gets the ball back for the Wildcats. A huge play here early in the first quarter after the Wildcats had just driven 60-plus yards for a score in less than 2 minutes. Second play of the drive.
That's what we were saying. There's a penalty against Temple here for some reason. 5-yard penalty.
Back him up to the 42-yard line. Ball still in Vandagriff territory. And with 9:35, here comes Chad President. 2 receivers left, 1 receiver to the right. Freeman to the right. President. Quick pass, far side. He's got Curtis handed out in front to block down the left side to the 35. Falls forward to the 34-yard line. Nice pickup of 8 yards on the Las Topeka Jewelers 1st and 10. Sets up a 2nd down and 2. Under 9.5 to play in the first quarter. Wildcats lead it 7-0. Wildcats on a 2nd down and 2. President from the gun, turns, gives it to Carr. Carr going to the left, trying to cut back inside the 30, spitting forward, trying to push the pile forward all the way down to the 16-yard line. That's a pickup of another 8 yards, and a Las Topeka Jewelers 1st and 10.
26-yard line.
26-yard line's where they bring them down. 9:19 on the clock, brought down on the play by Sam Broad. Las Topeka Jewelers 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Gives it to Carr. Carr going left. Cuts it up inside the 20, 15, 10, down the left sideline, inside the 5. He will be brought down at the 1-yard line. That's a pickup of 25 yards, and a Las Topeka Jewelers 1st and goal.
Well, you got to go down at the 1. He's had so many calls back this year, we can't let him go.
Las Topeka Jewelers 1st and goal. Rumfield checking in for Hannon. He'll go in as the tight end. Minter in the block. President from the gun. Turns. Gives it to Carr. Carr right behind the right guard. In for the score. Puts 6 on the board for the Wildcats as the touchdown puts the Wildcats up 13-0 with an even 9 minutes on the clock here in the first quarter from the Alamodome as the Vipers of Vandegrift give up the touchdown after the interception by Ty McCorkle.
That's a slow clock, Jamie. That was in a minute and 1 second. We ran 4 or 5 plays.
Martin on for the extra point. Good snap, but a flag coming in before the play gets going. That Wes's Burger Shack and More touchdown run of 1 yard from Jeff Carr, his shortest run of the day, but it's a big one. Puts the Wildcats up 13-0 with 9 minutes left in the first quarter. 79 yards on 6 carries for Jeff Carr and the touchdown.
Sure is. And that drive went actually 42 yards because we had a 5-yard penalty, 42 yards in 5 plays.
And took less than a minute off the clock. Wildcats got the ball back with just under 10 minutes to play, 9:59, I believe. So 13-0 our score. Martin on for a little bit longer of an extra point attempt now after a false start by the Wildcats offense. Good snap. Kick is up. Kick is good. After the Wes's Burger Shack and More touchdown run by Jeff Carr, the Wildcats lead the state semifinal matchup against Vandegrift 14-0 with 9 minutes left in the first quarter. We'll take a break. We're back for the El Chico kickoff next on KTIM and K1017. Welcome back. You're listening to Temple Wildcats football on KTIM and K1017. Our game presented by Scott & White Healthcare. Don't get sidelined by injury. Scott & White Healthcare can treat all of your sports injuries, no matter how complex. First quarter brought to you by Smile at the World Orthodontics. Our kickoffs brought to you by El Chico in Temple. Stop by for a holiday gift card. Buy a $25 gift card and get a $5 gift card absolutely free. Limit of 4. Cole Martin set for the kickoff. Wildcats lead it 14-0 with 9 minutes left in the first quarter. An interception by Ty McCorkle on the first pass attempt of the game from the Vipers is what gave the Wildcats the ball back, and they are 2 for 2 on drives. Pooch kick taken far side of the field at the 26, breaking through the first wall of tacklers out near the 40-yard line, so decent starting field position for the Vipers as they make their way back out of the field. I kept giving credit to Ty McCorkle. My apologies. Quentin Smith had the interception. Quentin Smith with the interception. I had him and McCorkle flip-flop. So all that credit to Ty McCorkle. I'm sure he did something great on that play, but the interception was made by Quentin Smith. So my apologies to the Smith family. Here we go with the first down at the 39-yard line, out of the gun with 2 receivers left, 1 right. Handoff goes to the back, right up the middle, just ducks his head, and he'll push the pile forward for about 4 yards. So a nice run on first down where there really wasn't a lot of room there for Travis Brannon.
His own. You know, one thing about the Temple offensive line, they're fired up. They like to be called the wall, and Leander's trying to do that for theirs.
It's 2nd and 6, a big hole as Brannon gets through over the right side into Temple territory at the 42-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of, we'll say 15 yards and a first down. So the first big play for Vandagriff gets them across midfield into Temple territory. So it's a 1st and 10 for Vandegrift at the Temple 43-yard line. First big run of the day for the Vipers.
Nice run.
1st and 10 as they look to the sideline, getting the plays, moving right to left here in the first quarter. 14-0 our scores. We hit the 8-minute mark in the first quarter. Temple on top. The keeper for the quarterback going to the left, pursuits, but gets past the first tackler inside the 40, picks up about 5, maybe 6 yards. Makes it a 2nd and 4 as the ball's at the 37-yard line. So a good run that time by the quarterback, Jamie Hudson. He doesn't have the wheels necessarily, but he can certainly get out there and move. Brought down on the play by Marquel Davis-Ponce. Out of the shotgun, trips receivers to the right, 1 receiver left. He's looking right, now coming back left. The hook route, he's got him, complete for the first down. Coverage by Clint Cole, not nearly in time, though, as the completion that time went to Paxton Sagina for the first down.
Now they look a little more settled now.
9-yard completion that time to Sagina, as it's a 1st and 10 at the Temple 28-yard line. 14-0 Temple on top, but the Vipers are driving. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left, motion right to left into the formation, into the backfield for an extra blocker. The give, no play action, pass over the middle of the field, tipped and caught.
Yeah, he's wide open.
Big receiver there, Bear Christensen, hauls it in. Goes from the 28 all the way down to the 10, gain of 18, and a first down. Should be a 1st and goal for Vandegrift.
That was a good pass. He was wide open, though.
Tipped the ball up in the air, thought for a moment he might not come down with it, but he tipped it to himself. And that's how wide open he was. He tipped it up probably 2 feet above his head, but had time to come back down with it. Out of the shotgun, 2 receivers left. The give, no, it's going to be a keeper going right. Gets past the first tackler as Marquel Davis-Ponce missed a tackle in the backfield. And just like that, Vandegrift back to within 1 score, a 10-yard touchdown run by Jamie Hudson. And he does it with his legs and his arm on that drive, 2 for 2 through the air, and picked up a couple of big plays on the ground as well. And they run this swinging gate formation, always look to have a possibility of some trickery. Now they'll send in the field goal unit. 6:45 left in the first quarter. It's 14-6, Temple on top, as Vandegrift took it 61 yards. for the score that time.
And did it in a hurry. Did it in 6 plays.
The extra point attempt up. Cole almost got there, but not quite in time. It's good. 6:45 to play first quarter in this state semifinal matchup, 5A Division I football. Temple leads at 14-7. We'll take a break. We're back with more Temple Wildcat football next on KTIM and K1017. Welcome back. You're listening to Temple Wildcats football on KTIM and K1017. Our game presented by Scott & White Healthcare. Don't get sidelined by injuries. The sports medicine physicians at Scott & White can treat all of your sports injuries, no matter how complex. First quarter brought to you by Smile at the World Orthodontics. Temple set to return the kickoff for the second time tonight. Took the opening drive. Scored a touchdown. First pass attempt of the game intercepted by Quentin Smith. A couple plays later, Temple able to score again, but Vandegrift getting their feet underneath them offensively this last drive, showing that it's possibly going to be a shootout, but certainly not looking like a blowout at this point in time.
If Temple will take it and go take care of business and score again, we can sure deflate them a little. Well, that ought to pick their confidence up.
You mentioned it, Gene. They're used to giving up points. They're used to being down in games, so it's not going to affect them here. It is another pooch kick right in the center of the field. There's Latouche taking it. He can't let this one go, so he hauled it in, and the Temple Wildcats will have a Las Vegas Jewelers 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. So we'll see how Vandagriff reacts after getting a little bit of the momentum back after getting their first score of the game. 6:45 to play in the first quarter, 14-7 our score in this state Division I 5A football semifinal. A trip to Jerry World, AT&T Stadium in Dallas on the line next Saturday at noon. 3 receivers right on the Las Vegas Jewelers first down. Tight end left, Rumfield into the game. Carr in the backfield to the right of President, working from the gun. Carr's got it right up the middle across the 35, and somebody's lost a helmet, but Carr's still going. He's coming to the near side, breaks 2 tackles, finally brought down at the 46-yard line. That's a pickup of 13 yards and another Las Vegas Jewelers first down. And Carr did it by breaking through some arm tackles before finally being brought down by Ryan McGee. But a nice 13-yard gain, very near 100 yards already for Carr.
Already got 92.
2 receivers left. President from the gun with Mentor to the left, Carr to the left, and Temple going to have their first penalty of the game, a false start, sending the Wildcats 5 yards back.
So we've had 3 5-yard penalties. We hadn't had the big one yet.
92 yards on 7 carries and a touchdown for Carr, and 5 carries, 16 yards and a touchdown for Hatcher. Carr to the left of President and a step behind. 2 receivers left, ball on the right hash mark. President, quick pass, far side of the field, but it is incomplete. Intended for Hannon. The pass was short. Hannon dove for it, but couldn't get it. 2nd down and 15 after the incompletion.
That's our second pass. It's been all run up to now, except for 1 8-yard completion.
2nd down and 15. Got 2 receivers right. That's Seastrunk and Freeman. Curtis and Hannon to the left. Carr in the backfield. It's a pass. President got it. Complete to Seastrunk.
Nice.
Misses a tackle. Slips a tackle into Vandegrift territory at the 49-yard line. That's a pickup of 10 yards, setting up a 3rd down and 5.
Oh, that was a pretty neat little move by Seastrunk after he caught it. He kind of looked like his uncle.
Haven't seen much from Keon Seastrunk this year. Good to see him get involved. 3 receivers as President's looking far side of the field. He's got Hannon. Hannon's got the first down yardage inside the 45 to the 42-yard line.
Give that ball to Mr. Clutch on the passes.
That is a 7-yard completion and a Las Vegas Jewelers first down, first reception for Hannon. Ball at the 42 in Vandegrift territory. Midway through the first quarter, 6 minutes on the clock. President from the gun turns, gives to Carr. Carr waiting for a hole to open, and not going to get much this time. Picks up 3 on the play before being brought down. Brought down on the play that time by number 53, J.T. Britton. He leads the team in sacks this year.
Had a little stutter step by Carr, picked up 3.
2nd and 7 as the keeper for President right up the middle inside the 35. Spins out of a tackle inside the 25. Flag thrown very, very late as one of the players for Vandegrift loses a helmet. Something tells me this is going to be a 15-yarder on the Wildcats, but that's just a guess on my part.
Coming back.
5:31 left in the first quarter. Wildcats lead at 14-7. That was a big, probably about 15 yards for President there on the ground, but Wildcats are going to see it come back. What, 4th penalty of the game already, Gene?
Yeah, that's 30 yards if this is a 15-yarder.
It is a hold, and it is right at the line of scrimmage. So, but still, that's a 15-yard gain plus 10 yards taken off, 25 yards lost on that. Wildcats will be all the way back near midfield at the 49-yard line, and it'll be a second down and long. No, they actually move them back 15 yards. They called a hold, but
they gave him 15 yards. They called it a spot foul then.
Well, if it
behind the line of scrimmage where the hole was.
5:31 on the clock, first quarter. Wildcats lead at 14-7. Ball all the way back into Temple territory. It's second down and 22. Ball at the 46-yard line. President from the gun. Play action. Looking to pass down the right side. Freeman's got a step. Can he get him? He's got him inside the 20. And 5. Touchdown, Temple. Wildcats put 6 on the board. That one goes 54 yards through the air. Freeman's first catch of the game is a big one. Hauls in that Wes's Burger Shack and More touchdown pass with 5:14 left in the first quarter. Wildcats lead it 20-7 with the extra point from Cole Martin still to come.
Well, that's another quick drive by the Wildcats, including the penalty. It's 7 plays, plus that penalty hurt us, but we scored anyhow. 54 yards, just a perfectly placed ball by Chad President. Freeman had a step, had to be a near-perfect pass, and it was a botched snap, but Hannon handles it, gets it down for Martin. Martin puts it through. 21-7 our score after that Wes's Burger Shack and More touchdown. We'll take a break. We're back. More Temple Wildcats football and that El Chico kickoff next on KTIM and K1017. Welcome back. You're listening to Temple High School football on KTIM and K1017, the 5A Division I state semifinal game from the Alamodome. I'm Jamie Garrett here with Gene Pemberton on KTIM and K1017. That's KTEM AM Temple, KLTD FM Temple. Of course, online at KTIMnews.com, at K1017FM.com, or on your tablet or smartphone on that free Radio Pub app. As we get set for the El Chico kickoff, brought to you by El Chico on 31st Street in Temple. Stop in for your holiday gift cards and get free holiday gift cards in return. Cole Martin set to kick off left to right. Temple leading 21-7. Pooch kick going far side of the field. Fair catch called for at the 31-yard line. Hauled in that time again by Bear Christensen. Vandagriff able to get a score last drive out. How do the Wildcats react? What do they do to slow down Jamie Hudson, who had 2 big passes and 2 big runs, including a 10-yard touchdown run his last drive out? It's 21-7. Wildcats have already picked off Jamie Hudson one time. Yale-bound quarterback. He's a smart one. He'll figure it out eventually, so the Wildcats lucky to take advantage early. Out of the shotgun, Brannon gets it right up the middle, makes one cut, able to get to about the 35, just shy of the 35, only a pickup of about 2 yards on first down, sets up a second down and 8. That's a 2-yard gain, but this is a key drive here. If we can hold them and force a punt and not let them come back down and score, it'll be big.
Quentin Smith on the stop that time out of the shotgun. Twin receivers each side of the formation. Give again to Brannon. He's got a little bit of room this time out to the 38. That's a pickup of 4, and it'll set up a third down and 4 for the Vipers. Again, the Vipers, just like the Wildcats, they don't huddle. They like to move quick when they can, but they certainly don't want to go 3 and out less than a minute here. 4 wide look out of the shotgun. Hudson looking right. Now he steps up. Scrambling, he's got a little bit of room, but he's going to be dropped shy of the first down marker. There for the stop for the Wildcats. That time, it is Ty McCorkle. Tried to give him credit for an interception earlier when it was actually Quentin Smith, but he actually did make the stop. A yard gain on the play leaves a fourth down, actually 2 yards on the pickup for Hudson, and it'll bring up a fourth down and 2 from the 40-yard line in Vandegrift territory, and they line up for the punt.
Well, that's big defensive play for Temple. Now, watch out for a fake punt. They don't need that much.
They do that weird thing where they start running right, and then finally kick it, but he was putting his leg into it earlier. A pretty impressive leg in warm-up. Slow snap getting back there. Temple brought some pressure, but look at this kick. Like a cannon shot all the way into the end zone. That's a punt of 60 yards, but it didn't hit the ground and roll until inside the 5. That was 55 yards in the air, and that was a better spiral than you'll see either of these quarterbacks throw tonight. That was phenomenal.
That's a rugby kicker. He's got those big old legs. He ran about 3 yards and then boomed it.
So the Wildcats will have the Las Vegas Jewelers 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line after the touchback. 3:37 to play in the first quarter. Wildcats lead at 21-7. Forcing the punt, looking to go up by 3 scores. President out of the gun, Carr to his left. 1 receiver each side of the formation. Carr going right, breaks the first tackle, makes a cut at the 29, falls forward to the 31, the 26-yard line. Pickup of about 5 sets up a 2nd and 5 for the Wildcats.
He's over 100 yards now.
I got him right at 100. Yep.
First quarter.
Wildcats moving quickly. 2nd down and 5. Out of the gun. The give to Carr. Carr waiting for something to open. He busts through across the 30, 35, 40. Down the right side. Brought down. Shoestring tackle. Great open field tackle that time as he takes it from the 25 all the way into Vandegrift territory. 27 yards on the carry. Very nearly a touchdown. Brought down on the play by Ryan McGee. Las Vegas Jewelers 1st and 10 at the Vandagriff 47. Moving quickly. President from the gun. Turns. Gives it to Hatcher. Hatcher started left. Cuts it up the middle. Breaks through a couple arm tackles inside the 40. Picks up 9. Very nearly 10 yards. Might actually have enough for the first down after a tough inside run.
That's good to see Hatch back out there. He was kind of working on his leg a while ago.
Las Vegas Jewelers 1st and 10 at the Vandagriff 37-yard line. And the Wildcats moving quickly. 2 receivers right, out of the gun. Hatcher has it. Started right. Makes a man miss in the backfield. Makes another man miss downfield. Gets inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. That's a pickup of 9. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 1.
Boy, Hatch running hard again.
Brought down on the play that time by number 44, Storm Wilson. Davion Curtis back into the game. Goes left of the formation. Freeman to the right. President from the gun. It's a zone read. Hatcher going left. He's got room on the outside. First down yardage and more. Inside the 20. Inside the 15. Out of bounds. Inside the 15-yard line. Takes it from the 28 all the way down inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. That's a pickup of 14 yards. And another Las Vegas Jewelers first down.
Well, he's right at 50.
49 yards on 8 carries for Hatcher.
First quarter.
Brought down by Gray Goolsby. The zone read is going to be a keeper for President up the middle, gets to about the 10-yard line, falls forward just inside the 10, a pickup of just under 5 yards, sets up a 2nd down and 5. We've seen 3 different players tonight losing helmets, and this time for the Wildcats, having to leave for a play is Philip Lynch. Haven't seen him much along the offensive line. Actually, Philip Lynch. Haven't called him much this year. Wonder if one of the Wildcats starters is injured, but he's going to come out because of a helmet loss. 2nd down and 5 after the 5-yard run from President. He keeps it again. Inside the 5. Touchdown Temple! 1:57 left in the first quarter. And Shad President from 10 yards out on the Wes's Burger Shack and More touchdown puts the Wildcats up 27-7 with the extra points still to come. Just 10 minutes and 3 seconds into this ball game.
That's what I was fixing. That's a 7-play drive, and it didn't take up, to just a little over a minute and a half. Something wrong on that clock.
1:57 left in the first quarter. Another iffy snap, but a great job by Ty Hannon handling it. Gets the extra point down. Martin puts it through. 28-7 our score. Wildcats big early. We'll take a break. Back for the El Chico kickoff next. You're listening to Temple Wildcats football on KTEM and K1017. Welcome back. You're listening to Temple Wildcats football presented by Scott and White Healthcare. Don't get sidelined by sports injuries. Let the sports medicine physicians at Scott and White handle your injuries no matter how complex. Jamie Garrett and Gene Pemberton, along with Angel Aguilar, here spotting for us tonight from the Alamodome. And Temple leads it 28-7 after a 10-yard Wes's Burger Shack and More touchdown run from Shad President. Touchdown pass from President. Touchdown run from President. Touchdown run from Carr. Touchdown run from Hatcher. And the Temple Wildcats all over the Vipers of Vandegrift early. Here's the El Chico kickoff. A pooch kick coming down to the near side. Fair catch called for and taken. Should have let it fall out of bounds. Would have been a penalty on Temple, but instead it'll be decent starting field position out near the 35 at the 34-yard line for the Vipers, who need to do something. Scoring this drive would keep them in the ballgame temporarily, but they've got to find a way to stop this Wildcats offense, which is running ragged over this Vipers defense early.
We've had 4 possessions. We scored 4 times.
And all of them quickly.
Yeah, quickly. Well, quickly on the clock.
Now, we'll talk about that. You think there's a conspiracy theory going on here. 2 receivers right, 1 left for Vandegrift, moving right to left here in the first quarter. Under 2 minutes to play. The give to Brandon. He's got a blocker out in front. Out across the 40.
Nice
Great
run.
open field tackle by Ty McCorkle, saving a big play. That was an 8-yard run for Brandon, but it could have been much more if McCorkle wouldn't have made that nice open field tackle.
Boy, he staggered. He made the last 5 on his own.
Out at the 42-yard line, 2nd and 2, under minute 35 to play in the first quarter. The give to Brannon, waiting, but nowhere to go as Gilberto Hernandez there for the stop. No gain on the play. Sets up a 3rd down and 2, and a big 3rd down for the Temple defense here as we come up on a minute 20 to play in the first quarter. 28-7 our score. Temple leading and a chance to get off the field here again if the defense can come through. You can hear, we can hear the Temple crowd. Unfortunately, we don't have access to a field mic here, and so you'll just have to imagine this Temple crowd is on their feet. Out of the shotgun, the zone read play. Brannon's got the first down out to the 45-yard line. Needed 2. He picked up 3, and that'll be good for a first down for the Vipers with 56 seconds left in the first quarter, dominated by the Temple Wildcats.
Absolutely. And I tell you, Brandon's impressive back, though. He runs hard. We've seen some good backs in this playoff. 2
receivers right, 1 left. Out of the shotgun with Brannon to the right of Jamie Hudson, the quarterback. It's going to be a run, a sweep for Hudson. He's going right, trying to get to the edge. Cuts back up inside. Should have been brought down in the backfield, but able to get forward for about 4 yards. Out just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Pick up a 4 on the play.
He's got a total of 12, but twice he got his yards when he should have been tackled.
McCorkle on the tackle over on that far side of the field. Kind of running the same thing this way, but looking to pass this time over to the left side. Ball is caught into Temple territory. I thought he had stepped out of bounds, but the completion that time goes to number 15, Parker Alsley, and that's good for a first down across midfield, pickup of 11, and first down for Vandagriff. So big third down pickup, now big pickup through the air to get across midfield, and pressure in the backfield. Hudson gets away from it. Wildcats should have been all over that. Great pass across the middle of the field, ill-advised. He was looking for Osley again, but Hudson, had he kept it, could have picked up 10 or 15 yards. Instead, tried a risky pass.
He really did, and I thought he was going to go across the line of scrimmage there for a minute.
And had he, if he would have kept running, he might have been close to picking up a first down. Instead, it's 2nd and 10, ball at the 40-yard line in Temple territory. 2 seconds on the clock in the first quarter, a quarter dominated by the Wildcats, leading 28-7. Temple out with a 4-down lineman look, motion into the backfield from the right. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Back to passes Hudson, looking down the left side, but great coverage by Clint Cole. That actually should have been pass interference against the offense.
Yeah, he pushed him off.
That was a horrible no call because Cole got mauled on this side. He's excited, though. That was perfect coverage by Clint Cole. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10 at the 40-yard line when we get back to start the second quarter of football. Wildcats lead it 28-7 in this State 5A Division I state semifinal matchup. We'll take a break. We're back for the start of the second quarter next on KTEM and K1017. Welcome back, Temple Wildcat football. Wildcat defense facing a 3rd and 10. Back to pass, Jamie Hudson over the left side to his big, tall receiver. He's got it at the 20-yard line. That's a pickup of 20 yards on a 3rd and 10, and Vandegrift staying alive as we enter the second quarter here. Brought down on the play by the Temple Wildcats, number 32 on the play, Eduardo Escobedo. 20 yards through the air for the Vipers. And they've got it 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Zone read, and it's going to be a keeper for Hudson. He's got some speed out there, running away from Taquan Graham inside the 10, making players miss down to the 7. A pickup of 13 yards and a 1st and goal for Vandegrift. This Hudson, well, we got a late flag coming through. Hope this isn't on the Wildcats. It's going to be an unsportsmanlike, whoever it is, and I have a feeling it's coming against the blue front, white back.
We got to stop them hinges from working in them jaws if it is, because that is after the play is going to be. Somebody said something.
35 yards on 5 carries and a touchdown for Hudson already, and he is very, very inconspicuous about it. At least this is only half the distance to the goal, so it's only about 3.5 yards here. But the unsportsmanlike call and the tackle that time give credit and blame, I guess, to Marquel Davis-Ponce. Not a great play, but only cost the Wildcats about 3.5 yards. It's 1st and goal just outside the 3-yard line, I should say. 11:35 to play second quarter. Wildcats lead at 28-7, but Vandegrift knocking on the door. They're going to go with an offset I formation here as a late player coming in for the Vipers. Still 10 seconds left on the play clock. Offset I formation. Brandon, the deep man. Quick pass, far side of the field, and they're out of bounds.
Yep, he's out.
Caught, but good job again by Cole and a much taller receiver to, again, offer up good position. The receiver caught it, but he was a step out of bounds. There's a flag on the far side of the field. Thrown right at the line of scrimmage right as soon as the play came, so we'll see who it's on.
That was a fade pattern, and when you got a 6'5" and 6'4", you can throw that, and you got a big advantage, but that was out of bounds. On the offense, that's their first penalty.
I didn't hear what the call was. I just saw the motion that time.
Pushing off on the offense.
Again, really wish we had a field mic here so you could get involved with this and hear the crowd, but maybe at a halftime I'll be able to run some mic cord over to the next booth and get something wired up. But for now, we're at the mercy of the Alamodome. like this is their first football game. No rosters. Can't get a field, Mike. Wildcats lead at 28-7 with 11:19 to play second quarter. Vandagriff with a second and goal, and because of the penalty ball back at just outside the 8-yard line. So the incompletion that time and the loss of down, 2 receivers right, 1 to the left, out of the shotgun. Hudson back to pass, looked right, now he's looking left, now he's looking to scramble. Running right, he's got his man wide open. In for the touchdown goes the wide receiver, Bear Christensen. Third reception of the game. This one 9 yards and a touchdown. He's up to 47 yards on 3 receptions, and Vandegrift pulls back to within 2 possessions. So the Wildcats defense has gone great drive, touchdown drive, great drive, touchdown drive on defense tonight. And Vandegrift behind 28-13 with the extra point still to come. 11-10 to play in the first half. And, Gene, I'm beginning to believe your clock conspiracy
we had
here.
it again, 5 plays, and they ran it. I mean, it's both plays.
Up and good. It's 28-14.
30 seconds, 5 plays.
With 11:10 left in the second quarter, we'll take a break, come back for the kickoff. Wildcats get the ball when we return. You're listening to Temple Wildcats football on KTEM and K1017. Welcome back. You're listening to Temple Wildcats football on KTEM and K1017. Jamie Garrett, Gene Pemberton at the Alamodome. It's 28-14 following a 10-yard touchdown pass from Jamie Hudson to Bear Christensen. Temple still leads it by 2 touchdowns. But, again, Austin Vandegrift Vipers, Leander Vandegrift, whatever you want to call them, they are not going anywhere just yet, but the Wildcats have not been stopped on offense yet tonight. And so the Wildcats, Davion Curtis, Clint Cole, and Jeff Carr back deep. They have not kicked off deep yet to Temple. Again, Temple with the hands team out there in the middle of the field, and for Vandegrift, at this point in time, you haven't been able to stop the Wildcats, so you might be willing to take risks like onside kicks, stuff like that. Don't know the coaching staff, know if they're gunslingers like that. But for the Vipers, you've got to do something. Temple's not going to stop themselves here, so they'll have to try to figure out this Wildcats offense before it's too late. It is 28-14. Another pooch kick. It will bounce on the ground at the 40, but the Wildcats recover. That was as close as it comes. And give credit to Ty Hannon, giving up his body and just laying out for that ball as it bounced. Luckily, it didn't take a funny hop, or the Vipers would have been right there for the recovery. So the Wildcats, first down, Las Vegas Jewelers 1st and 10 out of the 39-yard line. 11 minutes, 10 seconds to play second quarter. Wildcats lead at 28-14 and looking for more here on their 5th drive of the game.
Ty Hannon has saved 2 extra points with great put downs, and then that catch, he's just a big play, man.
President, play action coming near side. He's got Hannon. Hannon's got it, but brought down almost immediately. Davion Curtis couldn't get a great block out on the near side as play is stopped by Culver Sumner. 3-yard gain as another player for Vandegrift loses a helmet. There's lots of helmets flying out there today. 3-yard gain, so a minimal pickup to Hannon. Sets up a 2nd down and 7-second reception for Ty. 3 receivers right, Carr, Minter, and Hannon. President out of the gun. A quick pass. He's got Minter. Minter across the 45, spins forward, powers forward, out near the first down. That's a pickup of 7 yards and should be another Las Vegas Jewelers first down.
That's a good man to throw the ball to. That Minter will catch it, and then he'll run hard. First down.
He caught it about 5 yards short of the first down. It was a short pass, but he was able to power forward for the 7 he needed for the Las Vegas Jewelers 1st and 10. Handoff goes to Carr. Started left, cuts back to the middle, now going left again. He's across midfield down to the 43-yard line in Viper territory. That's going to be a pickup of 8 and set up a 2nd down and 2 as Carr continues to put up great numbers, up to 135 yards on 11 carries and a touchdown. He'll get it going right this time, cuts it back up inside the 40, flag thrown on the play. This is coming back, but Carr doing all sorts of dancing inside the 25 down to the 24. This will negate an 18-yard run by Jeff Carr as the flag thrown right about the first down marker, so it should only be about an 8-yard loss if the flag is placed accordingly, or the spot is where the flag is, rather.
We're running all over them, but, that type of thing. We get lots of penalties, but we overcome them usually.
An illegal shift, so it's only a 5-yard penalty for the Wildcats. So instead of 2nd and 2, or really instead of 1st and 10 inside the 25-yard line, it's 2nd down and 7 back at the 48-yard line in Viper territory. 10-14 on the clock, second quarter. Wildcats lead at 28-14. Minter, Curtis, Hannon on the left as receivers out of the shotgun. The zone read. President's going to keep it. A great drawback. President inside the 40. Makes a man miss. Cuts back inside the 30. Being pushed forward by Travis Locke. All the way inside the 25. Right exactly where they are. And a late flag. 2 late flags coming in now. We'll see who this unsportsmanlike call is coming on. Ball at the 24. That was a 24-yard run. Brought down on the play by Zach Schuvner.
And that flag was after the play.
But President is limping just a little bit as well. And that's not a good sign. He's coming over holding his chest. Unsportsmanlike going against Temple. Second of the game, as these Wildcats need to get it together and realize this is a 48-minute football game. You don't win anything over the first 12 minutes. 9:58 to play second quarter. It's 28-14. And the Wildcats continue to hurt themselves with penalties. Cole Martin in the game at quarterback for Chad President, who came to the sideline. He's being looked at. They're looking at his chest area, his sternum. And we'll keep an eye on that. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Martin with Carr to his right. Martin set to pass. He's got Hannon complete at the 35. And that's going to be a pickup of about 4 yards on the Las Vegas Jewelers first down. And ball down to the 35-yard line. Rumfield checking into the game for Hannon. So the 4-yard completion from Martin sets up a second down and 6. Brought down on the play that time by number 44, Storm Wilson. Martin out of the gun. He's got Carr to his right. Carr's getting it, going left this time. He's inside the 35, inside the 30. Cuts back inside the 25. Down the right sideline. Nobody's going to catch him. 5. Touchdown, Temple, but a flag on the field. Back in the backfield, Gene.
Man, holding.
Boy, oh boy, the Wildcats want to make it as interesting as they possibly can.
Man, that was a great run by Jeff.
Another highlight reel touchdown run from Jeff Carr, right at the mark at 35 yards. But boy, this Wildcats team is doing everything they can to keep the Vipers in this football game. Your quarterback's on the sideline. Your running back makes a sports winner, a Sports Center-worthy play, and there's just nothing you can say about it. We've been saying it for 15 games now. They've gotten away with it. They're winning by 2 touchdowns, but at some point in time,
we've had 48 yards in penalties and only 5 for Leanne.
President is back in the game now for Cole Martin. They need him now. 2nd and 15. Carr's got it again. Why not go for a third time? He's inside the 40. He's going to pick up about 6 yards. 5 yards, rather, back to the original line of scrimmage to 3rd and 10. And remember this drive late in the ball game. If we've got a game and the Wildcats don't score here, it's big. Big to have that touchdown called off the board. A 3rd and 10 for the Wildcats at the 39-yard line in Viper territory. Vipers bringing pressure. Fakes the Carr. Late flag or a flag thrown at the line of scrimmage. Looks to be offsides possibly. President able to pick up about 3. That'll bring a 4th down and 7. But, again, I think it's an offsides coming against the Vipers, judging on who threw the flag.
Hopefully they need a penalty. Come on, baby. Step it off there against them.
So instead of a 4th down and 7, well, I'm not sure. They're looking over to the Vipers sideline.
Sure taking a long time to do it. It's coming back
against the Wildcats.
That's 53 yards against Temple. 8 penalties already.
And a loss of down? I don't understand how you go backwards and have a loss of down there. But again, a field mic would be nice to be able to hear what is going on the field.
Well, we can't hear the referee at all.
Going over to explain things to Spradlin. It's a 4th down and 12 right now at the 41-yard line. Wildcats offense still out there, but you got to feel that they would want to punt this one away, try to pin them back deep, make them drive the length of the field. But I don't understand what explanation you could give to a loss of down and a 5-yard penalty. When President was brought down at the 37, they moved the ball back to the 41. It wasn't even the original line of scrimmage, so I'm confused. Wildcats lead at 28-14, still 8:54 left in the second quarter. We could be going for the longest half in football history. 3 receivers left. President out of the gun. He's got Carr in the backfield, and it's going to be a keeper for President as he tries to pick up the yardage himself. He's not going to get close to the first down marker. He's out at the 33, needed to make it inside the 30. So the change of possession over to Vandagriff, and again,
first time they've held us tonight.
But they didn't hold us. Temple held themselves.
Yeah, they did.
Held themselves out of the end zone with a multitude of penalties. I mean, if you weren't on the Temple sideline, it would almost be laughable, the number of penalties they had that drive alone.
Well, you're exactly right, because we've got a bunch of them already.
So an 8-yard gain for President, not nearly enough for the first down, and it's 1st and 10 for the Vipers, who can get back to within one possession on this drive. Could have been another 3-possession score on that run by Carr, but it was called back. The give is to Brandon coming right. Good play in the backfield, as that one's McCorkle coming through and blowing it up 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 12. Brandon brought down behind the line for the first time tonight.
That was a big play. We're going to shoot some linebackers now and try to put some more pressure on them, and that's good. We need to do that.
Boy, I just cannot believe the Wildcats, that last offensive drive.
Yeah.
2 backs in the backfield this time. Now they send one out in motion. Temple jumped across the line. It's going to be an offsides play. Free play for Vandagriff. And Clint Cole jumped in front narrowly. He picked that off, but it wouldn't have counted anyway. And instead of 3rd and 12, it's going to be 2nd and 7 for the Vipers, as one of the Hernandez twins inside jumped early. Got a hard count on him. 8:09 to play second quarter. 28-14, Temple on top. It was 28-7. Wildcats scored another, Vandegrift scored, made it 28-14.
8 penalties to only 1 against them.
Wildcats took a 34-14 lead, but it was taken off the board because of one of the many penalties in the last offensive possession for the Wildcats. And instead of 35-14, it's 28-14, and Vandegrift driving a 2nd down and 7 at the 36-yard line in Viper territory. Jamie Hudson, the quarterback, directing traffic. 2 receivers left. Got a back in the backfield. It's Brandon. He started up the middle, cuts it left, trying to get to the outside. He does, but a
tackle.
Bit of congestion over that side held him up. He actually ran into his own player. We've got a fumble on the play. Temple saying that they've got it. Waiting for the officials to signal one way or another.
I think he was down.
Temple certainly was pointing that way, but they will say he was down. So it's a 3rd down after a yard gain on the play out to the 37. Need to get it out to the 43-yard line for the first down. So it's a 3rd down and 6. And the Wildcat defense needs to do their offense a favor here and get them off the field. 7:50, clock running, second quarter. 28-14, Wildcats on top. Vandegrift with the ball. 3rd and 6. Temple looks to bring a linebacker through, bringing pressure. Hudson gets rid of it, but threw it too hard. Did not connect with Paxton Sagina, as good coverage on that side of the field by the Wildcats, and that'll force a 4th down punting situation. There on the coverage was Clint Cole. So with 7:38, Wildcats should get the ball back. Travell Latouche back at his own 26-yard line, middle of the field, set to return the punt if it comes near him.
That last possession we had with all those penalties, we had a touchdown call back too, as Jeff had.
Punter for the Vipers, standing at his own 23. A couple steps to his right. Short kick. It's a high one, a wobbler, so not one of his better kicks. Takes a bounce straight up in the air. Rolls to the 34-yard line. That's where the Wildcats will have it with the Las Vegas Jewelers 1st and 10. 7:26 to play in the second quarter. Wildcats lead at 28-14 and need to take this opportunity to play mistake-free football and drive the length of the field.
Yeah, that was only a 29-yard punt after the other one went booming for 60.
The Las Vegas Jewelers 1st and 10, mark it at the 35. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. President out of the gun. Hatcher in the backfield to his left. It's going to be play action. Hannon's got it at the 41. Pushes forward. Good blocking downfield that time by Davion Curtis as the ball goes all the way out to the 49-yard line. A pickup of 14 and another Las Vegas Jewelers first down, brought down on the play that time by Christian Reyes.
Yeah, we needed that because, we'd scored every time. We're not going to lose anything if we go short this time.
Las Vegas Jewelers first down. It's going to be a keeper for President on a broken play. Going to the right. He's inside the 45-40. Down the right sideline. 20. Late flag thrown. It's a touchdown for Temple, but this one is coming back as well.
This is the worst. We are getting flagged every play nearly.
It is downfield, so it's not coming all the way back, but this is ridiculous. Second touchdown for the Wildcats in the last 2 drives to be called back. And I got to say, Temple is not this kind of football team. Gene, you got to start looking at some point in time at just bad officiating, to be completely honest. I mean, they may be dead on. I mean, we may be wrong.
Coach Badland is not even hollering on these.
But to have this many penalties early on, this is not a football team playing its first game of the season, as this one comes all the way back out to the 45, only a 6-yard gain all in all for President, who just busted into the open field and blew everybody's angles out because of his speed. But again, a great play by a Temple skill position player negated. The handoff goes to Hatcher up the middle, hits a wall at about the 43-yard line, only going to pick up about a yard actually back at the 44, sets up a second down and about 2.5 or 3. Freeman going right. Curtis and Hannon lined up left. Hatcher to the left of President, working out of the shotgun. Mentor lined up tight end right. President gets it. Zone read. Gives it to Hatcher. Hatcher, first down yardage inside the 35. Spinning forward, churning his legs down to the 29-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of 14 yards and another Las Vegas Jewelers first down. Down to the 29-yard line.
Keep it going, Cats.
64 yards on 10 carries tonight for Hatcher. 6:28 clock running, second quarter. Temple leads 28-14. President from the gun. Hatcher to his left. Zone read. Gives it to Hatcher, making a couple of guys miss. Stutter step, only able to get down to the 27-yard line. Pickup of 2 yards. Makes it 2nd and 8, brought down on the play by Christian Reyes. President.
You can't run the clock fast. We still got half a quarter left. Unreal.
President gives it to Hatcher going right, a little bit of room, cuts back, does a spin move inside the 25 to the 24, only picks up 3, brings up a 3rd down and 4 for the Wildcats offense. We are more than halfway through the second quarter, 5:50 clock running. Temple leading 28-14. They've got it inside the 25 in Viper territory, but face a big 3rd down and 4. President, 3 receivers left, has Carr back in there to his right. Gets it. Zone read, keeper for President, right up the middle, inside the 20. A move back to the right gives him the first down yardage, down to the 17. That's a pickup of 7 yards and another Las Vegas Jewelers first down.
President's really utilizing that well. They're gang tackling Hatcher when he comes to the right or left now, and that's leaving the center open. And President's just picking up 7 to 15 yards right up the gut.
With 5:26 to play second quarter, Vipers take another timeout. They want to talk it over, try to keep Temple out of the end zone. It's a Las Vegas Jewelers 1st and 10 in the red zone for the Wildcats when we return. 5:26 to play in the first half. Temple leading 28-14 and looking for more. You're listening to Temple Wildcats football on KTEM and K1017. Welcome back. You're listening to Temple High School football on KTEM and K1017, presented by Scott & White Healthcare. 28-14 our score, 5:26 left in the first half. President on a 1st and 10, hands it to Carr, right up the middle. Oh, took a big hit to the head. Should have been targeting on number 1, Cody Walter, but no call on the play. Man, oh man, he took a shot there. He does get right back up. Temple with a nice pickup of first down. 5 yards, sets up a 2nd down and 5, but Carr again got stood up and took a big hit. He's got 145 yards rushing. Zone read play. It's going to be a give to Carr. Carr was going to be brought down in the backfield. Instead is inside the 10, making people miss inside the 5, all the way down to the 2-yard line. That's a pickup of 10 yards and a Las Vegas Jewelers first down. Another Temple player losing his helmet as he'll head to the sideline, and Rylan McKeska will check back in for number 58. That is Philip Lynch, and he is out of the ballgame. It's a Las Vegas Jewelers 1st and goal. President gives it to Carr, going right, bounces and into the end zone for the Temple touchdown. 4:45 to play second quarter. Temple leads 34-14 with the extra point still to come after a 2-yard Wes's Burger Shack and More touchdown run by Jeff Carr, his 2nd of the game. He's got 157 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Wildcats, despite all the penalties, do have a 3-touchdown lead with 4:45 left before halftime. Vipers with 1 timeout left, but they have scored on 2 of their 5 drives today. The extra point up and good. Cole Martin booting it through. Wildcats lead it thanks to a 2-yard Wes's Burger Shack and More touchdown run from Jeff Carr. We'll take a break. Back with more Temple Wildcats football next on KTEM and K1017. Folks, I hope you're in for the long haul tonight. We have a slow-moving first for a game in the sense that both teams scoring quite a bit. Angel Aguilar, our spotter here tonight with myself, Jamie Garrett, and Gene Pemberton on KTEM and K1017. You're listening to Wildcats football presented by Scott & White Healthcare. Pointed out that Vandegrift has already given up their season average in points here in the first half with 4:45 to play. 35-14 our score. Temple on top thanks to a 2-yard Wes's Burger Shack and More touchdown run by Jeff Carr. Cole Martin on for the El Chico kickoff, brought to you by El Chico on 31st Street in Temple. Stop in for your holiday gift cards and get some free gift cards in return. Pooch kick coming down to the near side. Fair catch called for at about the 33-yard line. So the Wildcats seem to be digging that Pooch kick early on in the ball game today. And the Wildcats defense will come back out on 3 drives. They have looked fantastic on 2 other drives. The Vipers have got their scores, and that's exactly what you kind of expect with a team like Vandagriff. What you kind of expect, and we're hoping anyway for the Wildcats, is the offense on the other side has just had foot on the accelerator the whole game, and except for a penalty-filled drive a few possessions ago, Wildcats have not been stopped.
Temple's run 39 plays. They've run 29. We still got 4 minutes to go in the quarter, in the second.
Out of the shotgun, Jamie Hudson gives it to Brandon. No, he's keeping it going right. Temple had it sniffed out, though, and there's Quentin Smith. A 1-yard gain. They gave him great forward progress on that. He should have been brought down, but behind the line of scrimmage. But Quentin Smith with a big stop, 1-yard gain, 2nd and 9 out to the 34, under 4.5 to play in the first half. So Hudson tried to keep it going right, but Temple's defense had 2 guys there, nowhere to go for Hudson, working out of the gun, 3 receivers left, 1 right. It's going to be a give to Brandon. Brandon's got a big hole up the middle, across midfield, down the right sideline. Nobody is near Travis Brandon as he takes it 66 yards for the touchdown. And Vandagriff, with 4:07 left in the first quarter, answers just like that. Unreal. It's 35-20, and Temple very nearly giving up their season average in points here in the first half as well. And we've still got 4 minutes. Temple with 3 timeouts left, so hopefully still some more scoring left to come this half. Vandagriff will get the ball first in the second half.
Boy, I tell you, Brandon has been stopped a lot tonight, but he just keeps on going, and that's another great run by him.
That puts him over 100 yards on the night on just 11 carries. Extra point up and good. It's 35-21. Wildcats lead it. Vandagriff with a quick 2-play drive.
And they've come back from several games, including last week against LBJ, when they were down pretty good to win the game.
Take a quick break. Back for the kickoff next. You're listening to Temple Wildcats football on KTIM and K1017. Back, you're listening to Temple Wildcats football on KTIM and K1017. Jamie Garrett and Gene Pemberton from the Alamodome, the 5A Division I state semifinals. Wildcats lead at 35-21. 4:07 left in the first half after Vandegrift takes it 2 plays, goes 67 yards. A 66-yard touchdown run by Travis Brannon. He's got over 100 yards already in the first half. Both teams pretty much giving up their season average in points here in the first half, respectively. Wildcats lead at 35-21. We haven't seen anything but pooch kicks. Almost recovered it. Vandegrift did last time. This time they do send it deep, taken at the 8-yard line. Davion Curtis near side, out across the 20, and they'll be shy of the 25 at about the 23-yard line, where the Wildcats will have a Las Vegas Jewelers 1st and 10. Got the Wildcats off guard there, didn't go short, instead booting it deep. And with 4:03 to play in the first half, Wildcats offense, all 3 timeouts left. We'll come back out. They were shaky last 2 drives because of penalties, able to recover last drive and get the score on a 2-yard touchdown run by Jeff Carr. Our game presented by Scott & White Healthcare. Second quarter brought to you by Smile at the World Orthodontics. Curtis going to the left. Minter, Hannon, Freeman to the right side, the open half of the field, the wide half of the field. President out of the shotgun with Carr in the backfield to his right. Pressure coming. It's going to be a give to Carr out across the 25 before being hit and driven back at the 29-yard line. That's a pickup of 6 yards, brought down on the play by Bear Christensen as he's over on the defensive side of the ball as well.
This is the worst starting position Temple's had on 23 in the whole game.
Still a nice gain of 6 yards when there wasn't a whole lot there for Carr. 16 carries, 163 yards, and 2 touchdowns tonight for Carr, and he's had a couple calls back. 2 receivers to the right, play action. No, it's a give to Hatcher. Hatcher across the 30, out across the 35, spins out of a couple tackles across the 40 to the 49-yard line. That's a pickup of 14 yards and a Las Vegas Jewelers first down for Hatcher.
14 more for him. He's getting close, too.
He's up to 83 yards on 13 carries. Las Vegas Jewelers first down at the 43 in Temple territory. 3:15 to play first half. It's a give to Hatcher. Started left, cuts it up. A couple of tough yards across the 45. Pickup of 2 on the first down. Sets up a 2nd down and 8. Some more pushing and shoving. This time the Viper defender pushing somebody. No flag. And we can hear, you can't hear because we don't have a field mic, but we can hear some grumblings from the Temple crowd. This is in a very highly officiated game. They are certainly earning their money tonight. Out of the shotgun, play action, President near side. He's got Curtis as the defender slipped across midfield and very near the first down. One official has him at the first down. One official has him a yard shy. And the yard shy official, despite having Coach Spradlin in his ear, is going to get the best of that one. So a 7-yard gain sets up a 3rd down and 1 at the Vipers' 48-yard line. 2:43. Clock is stopped as Curtis went out of bounds that time. Second reception of the game for Curtis. He's been largely held in check. President gives it to Hatcher right up the middle. First down yardage inside the 45. Coming down the left side inside the 30. 10. 5. Touchdown. Temple flag on the field.
Oh, well, you know that.
Not at the line of scrimmage, but it is in the neighborhood of an offside. So let's keep our fingers crossed to see what it's going to be called. That one was a 48-yard run by Hatcher. And if it's coming back, mind is just boggled here. Offside!
Yeah, there we go.
That's a touchdown. Lordy.
Declined, so they still did that one penalty, but we'll sure take the flag.
2:33 left in the first half. Wildcats lead at 41-21. A 48-yard touchdown run from Hatcher. He's up over 100 yards, well over 100, approaching 150 now, as Carr's got over 160 yards in the first half. Hatcher nearing 150. 36 yards and a touchdown on the ground for President. So the Wildcats offense clicking on all cylinders despite the occasional penalty scare. As Martin's on for the extra point, Hannon can't handle it. He's going to have to scramble to his left, and he's brought down well behind the line of scrimmage back at the 20-yard line. So we'll see if that one comes back to hurt Temple later in the game. It's 41-21, no good on the extra point. Wes's Burger Shack and more touchdown run from Marcus Hatcher. What a fantastic run as they showed on the replay board here. We'll take a quick break back for the El Chico kickoff next. You're listening to Temple Wildcats football on KTEM and K1017. Welcome back. You're listening to Temple Wildcats football on KTEM and K1017. Jamie Garrett, Gene Pemberton, and our spotter Angel Aguilar from the Alamodome 5A Division I state semifinals. Wildcats reaching this far to the playoffs for the first time since 1993. And they lead 41-21 over the Vandegrift Vipers. Wildcats with a Wes's Burger Shack and more touchdown run from Marcus Hatcher of 48 yards. And the El Chico kickoff upcoming, brought to you by El Chico on 31st Street in Temple. Stop in, try the taco fries. Very delicious. Wildcats lead by 20 with the pooch kick coming to the near side. That's Brannon they snuck in there, the running back. He takes it to the 28, and a very nearly touchdown-saving tackle by Jordan Lee. I believe that's Jordan Lee down on the near side, and he got his money's worth out at the 40-yard line. If Brandon would have slid through there, that would have been all she wrote, and he could have been gone for a score. But 2:29 left in the first half. Wildcats lead at 41-21. Huge possession here for the Temple defense to try to get out of this half with a 3-score lead at the minimum.
Yeah, I was listening to that Cameron game last night, and they had this much points in the first half, too. A lot of scoring going on.
Yeah, we are a full hour and 10 minutes into the game, and we're still in the first half. So the chant of defense in the Wildcats crowd from the 40-yard line in Viper territory. Shotgun gives to Brannon. Brannon started up the middle, cuts to the left. In pursuit is Ashton Logan. He'll bring him down at the 45, but a flag thrown in the backfield. That is a 5.5-yard gain for Travis Brannon on first down, but Hudson staying back might have a hold here. Would be the second penalty of the game against the Vipers. It is a hold, so Temple faithful celebrating that call with 2:19 to play in the first half instead of a second down and about 5. It'll be a 1st and 20 all the way back at the 30-yard line, so the Temple Wildcats getting a little help from the officials for the first time tonight.
Well, there was a hole in. That's good.
Hudson with 58 yards passing here in the first half. He averages nearly 300 yards a game, or I guess up in excess of 240. A keeper for Hudson as he trips up, only picks up a yard as Gilberto Hernandez there on the stop after a yard gain out to the 31, second down and 19. Hudson tripped up on the turf. Otherwise, he might have been able to pick up a little bit more.
We've done a good job controlling him with all that throwing he's done this year. He ain't thrown tonight.
Hudson with a back on either side of him in the backfield. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. out of the shotgun. Back to pass. Extra man staying in the block. Hudson unloading it down the seam, just out of the reach.
Good
coverage
play
there by Clint Cole. Intended that time for Paxton Sagina. It was there, but he couldn't haul it in, and it's a 3rd and 19 for the Temple defense as Clint Cole's out there doing a little bit of teaching, getting the guys back quick for this quick-moving offense. Clock stopped a minute 40, first half. 41-21 Temple leads it, and a 3rd down and 19 for the Viper offense. We'll see if they decide to run to keep the clock going and punt it, or if they decide to try to pick up the first down here and keep this drive going. 3rd and 19. You got 2 receivers to the left, 1 right, out of the shotgun. Hudson rolling left. Now he cuts back right. There's nowhere to go. He broke through 1 tackle, going right, throws it up into the air, and one of the Temple coaches on the sideline catches it. It's 4th and 19. Clock stopped a minute 31. Plenty of time for the Wildcat offense as the punting unit for the Vipers comes out of the field. It's a 41-21 lead, but I tell you what, a 48-21 lead sounds a whole lot better right here. And the Wildcats offense can do it.
That slow clock played to our benefit then. We're going to have time. We get time for 6 or 7 more plays with a minute and a half left.
Again, I know it's late in the half, and Vipers probably want to get out of here with no more damage done, but watch for trickery. They got an excellent punter, Latouche, back at his own 29-yard line on the near hash mark. It is a slow snap back there. A good kick. Does Latouche get it? No, he steps away from it at the 27. Now he tried to go into the last second and get it, and I'm not sure what Latouche was thinking there, but it takes a bounce right up in the air. It doesn't roll 10 yards downfield, thankfully. A minute 19 to play, first half. It's a Las Vegas Jewelers 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line for the Wildcats.
That outside lineman here was 5 yards ahead of the snap. There was no flag.
Man. And that's from a former official.
Well, it is.
You know, when I complain, people just brush it off and say, yeah, that's just Jamie.
I'd tell at the halftime, if that was my official, I'd say, put that flag in your pocket and pin it in there.
President gives it to Hatcher. Hatcher coming to the left, cuts it back up inside, out across the 30, across the 35, and it does not step out of bounds. Out of the 45-yard line. That's a pickup of 19. No, they give him 20 on the carry, and the Wildcats have a Las Vegas Jewelers first down. Both running backs up over 150 yards here in the first half for the Wildcats. And minute 8, clock has not started. Now it will stop. President from the gun on the Las Vegas Jewelers first down. The give is to Hatcher. Started right, cuts it right back up the middle. This time brought down after only a 2-yard, no, a 1-yard gain. And Temple will call its first time out of the first half. 57 seconds left in the half. We'll take a break, come back. It is a 2nd down and 9 for the Wildcats with 57 seconds left in the half. No, they didn't take a timeout. They're letting the clock run here, 3 timeouts. So the Wildcats will slowly substitute some players in. Clock still running down to 47 as President gets the offense moving. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Hatcher in the backfield, play action. Quick pass to Hannon. Hannon's got it, looking for a block. He's got it, and picks up the first down yardage to the 42-yard line into Vanderbilt territory. That's a pickup of 11. And a Las Vegas Jewelers first down, 4th reception of the half for Hannon. And the Wildcats have a first down. Wildcats now taking the first time out of the half. 36 seconds left, 2 timeouts left. Temple leading 41-21, and they've got it inside the 45 in Vandagriff territory. We'll take a quick timeout.
And everything he's throwing.
Back right after this, more Wildcats football on KTIM and K1017. You're listening to Temple Wildcats football on KTIM and K1017. Jamie Garrett and Gene Pemberton from the Alamodome. Our game presented by Scott & White Healthcare. Don't get sidelined by injuries. Call Scott & White Healthcare today, 724-2111. 36 seconds left before halftime. Wildcats calling their first timeout of the first half. 2 left. 41-21 our score. It's a Las Vegas Jewelers 1st and 10 for the Wildcats at the Viper 42-yard line. 2 receivers go left, 1 to the right. President with Hatcher to his right in the backfield, working from the gun. Straight drop back pass. President over the middle of the field. He's got Mentor at about the 36-yard line. They'll give him the 35, shy of the first down. Clock continuing to run. Or do the Wildcats call the quick timeout? They do, and we'll keep it right here. 29 seconds left before the half. And the Wildcats with a big 30 seconds here because going in up by 27 versus up by 20, I know it sounds like nitpicking, and anybody, if you would have told me before the game, would you take a 20-point lead at halftime, we would have certainly taken it, but seeing the way the Wildcats have played, seeing the Vandagriff offense respond from time to time, I think it's important to keep the points coming as often as you can heading into the half especially.
And they get the ball starting the second half. But we've done a good job against them, really good job.
I tell you, Chad President in the first half, he's 9 out of 10 121 yards, a touchdown, a 54-yarder to Aaron Freeman. He's got 36 yards on 5 carries and another touchdown on the ground. Jeff Carr, 16 carries, 163 yards. Marcus Hatcher, 16 carries, 153 yards, both of them with 2 touchdowns apiece. So the Wildcats offensively have looked great. Defensively, they've looked great as well, and have just played sensational here in the first half. This Viper offense, it's very good. They'll score their points. You know, Coach Stewart right now isn't happy with 21 points in the first half, I can promise you that. But considering the way that things have gone, it's looking good. President out of the gun, play action, pressure coming, and very nearly picked off as Davion Curtis fell to the ground, trying to make his cut. Culver Sumner was there on the coverage, and he very nearly had a pick, but he tripped over Curtis, and the incompletion makes it a 3rd down and about 4 for the Wildcat offense. Only the 2nd incompletion for President, and his receiver had to fall down and make it happen.
You know, the Fort Worth chapters got this game, and a couple of these guys are really good officials. The
President,
referee, Bill Theodore.
Working from the gun, a play zone read, rather. President hits the turf. He's going to be brought down for a 2-yard loss back at the 38-yard line, and the Wildcats continuing to let the clock run, going to decide what they want to do here on a 4th down and about 6. They continue to let the clock run down to 8 seconds, and they may call a timeout here with the 2nd left and take one shot into the end zone. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and they're not going to get another play off before halftime. Cannot believe they let that clock run down with a timeout still left on the board. That kind of blows my mind a bit. So kind of a weird ending to the half for the Wildcats. Excited about a 20-point lead. Frustrated that it couldn't be more when some clock management there could have made the difference. Davion Curtis throwing his helmet to the turf, walking off the field. Not very happy, I'm guessing, that he slipped on that last pass. If he had caught that, Wildcats would have been very close to field goal range, certainly. So we have hit the half in our game presented by Scott & White Healthcare. 5A Division I state semifinals, and for the Wildcats, despite, again, a little bit of oddities showing up in the first half, the penalty bug for the Wildcats, giving up a big play offensively, or the Wildcats defense giving up a big play to Travis Brannon, who's got over 100 yards rushing in the first half. But overall, Gene, got to be very happy with the Wildcats find themselves here as we enter the halftime show brought to you by Johnny's Cleaners.
Absolutely. We've controlled the ball, really. They scored 3 times, but we've run 49 plays, and they've run 35. So that's a lot of football plays in a half. In fact, it's 9 o'clock. That's the reason.
Boy, oh boy. We're in for a late night tonight, but this is fun.
It is
State
fun.
Semifinals, a trip to AT&T Stadium in Arlington on the line next week. And we'll take a break, come back for the halftime show brought to you by Johnny's Cleaners. Avoid having your clothing sacked. Let Johnny's Cleaners in Temple tackle the job. Johnny's team can huddle up with all types of men and ladies alterations, dry cleaning, and executive shirt service. And you can spread the field. A couple locations to serve you, 2 locations in Temple, 116 South Main downtown and 2703 South 37th, plus the drop-off location in Springhouse on Royal Street in Salado. The Vandegrift Band on the field, and we are at the half with Temple leading this state semifinal game in 5A Division I football, 41-21. We'll take a break. Coming up here in just a bit, my interview with Temple Superintendent Dr. Robin Battershell, talking about the Temple Education Foundation and some of the money being spent there. Also about the upcoming holiday and final exam or midterm exam schedule. All that on the way here as we have hit halftime. I'm Jamie Garrett here with Gene Pemberton. You're listening to Temple Wildcat Football on KTEM and K1017. Welcome back. You're listening to Temple High School Football on KTEM and K1017, presented by Scott & White Healthcare. Don't get sidelined by injuries. Scott & White Healthcare can treat all of your sports injuries, no matter how complex. Call 254-724-2111 for an appointment. Jamie Garrett and Gene Pemberton here. Don't forget, we're online at K1017FM.com, online at KTEMnews.com, and on the free Radio Pup app for your tablet or smartphone. Get it from the Google Play Store or from the App Store as we wrap up the halftime show brought to you by Johnny's Cleaners. 2 locations in Temple, 116 South Main downtown and 2703 South 37th in Temple, plus the drop-off location in Springhouse on Royal Street in Salado. As you can hear, we've got ourselves a field mic. We've gone old school today, thanks to Angel Aguilar, my spotter/technician extraordinaire. We have rigged up, he's got us rosters tonight, if only you could go up to the top and affix a nice Wi-Fi signal for us. Run my Wi-Fi hotspot up there. That's why we are on the phone this evening. Cannot get more than one bar at the Alamodome. It is 2014, right? I mean, we can get Wi-Fi signals in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Amelia Earhart is currently on Skype, but we can't get a Wi-Fi signal here at the Alamodome.
We might get the signal from where we're parked.
Tell you what, by the time this game ends tonight, we might be advanced enough technology-wise to get ourselves a Wi-Fi signal, because we've been here a while, 2 hours almost already, and we're just about set for the start of the second half. Temple leading 41-21. Temple will kick off to start the second half. Kickoff brought to you by El Chico on 31st Street in Temple. Stop by to get a $25 holiday gift card and get a $5 gift card free, limit 4. Third quarter brought to you by Smile at the World Orthodontics. Dr. Barron and the staff, proud sponsor of the Excelling in Life Award. Temple with a 3-touchdown lead. Really, Gene, you look at it, it could be more. Temple left the end of the first half in the middle of a drive where clock mismanagement led to Temple not getting even a shot at the end zone. And then one drive in which Jeff Carr scored a touchdown that was called back by penalty. Wildcats couldn't overcome the penalties there. Basically, the Vipers have not stopped the Wildcats. Only the Wildcats have stopped the Wildcats.
That's exactly right.
Vandegrift, though, has scored on 3 of their 6 drives this evening, and they average almost 50 points a game. So we are far from over in the 5A Division I state semifinals. A pooch kick from Cole Martin taken at the 43-yard line. Fair catch called for by the big, tall receiver, Paxton Sagina. And good starting field position for the Vipers out across the 40-yard line at the 42. And that's where we begin here in the third quarter with the Wildcats leading 41-21. Offensively, Wildcats look great. Defensively, at times, the Wildcats look great. And they'll come out and try to make a stop here in the first half. They haven't done it. They did it last week against George Ranch, stopping them on the first drive of the second half. Created a turnover on that first drive last week in the second half. See if they can do it here. Jamie Hudson with Travis Brannon to his right. Motion into the backfield from the left side. 2 receivers right. Give is to Brannon. Brannon's got a nice hole. Fills up quickly. Ball is on the ground.
Get that ball.
Looks like Vandagriff's got it. They fall on it after a 2-yard gain. So just like last week, the Wildcats almost creating a turnover, but it's a 2-yard gain for Brannon, and it brings up a 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, Brannon's a tough runner. He's carried the ball. We controlled him pretty well. He's at 104 yards before that carry. But we've done a good job on the quarterback, and this is a big possession for them.
Well, a player down on the field injured. I believe that's Travis Brannon. It is the running back for Vandegrift. He is now leaning up. He was laying back and had not gotten up yet. He still is sitting on his rear end, and with 11:45 to play third quarter, this is certainly not what the Vipers wanted, as Brannon is up and walking off under his own power. Not sure what the injury came from, but he did take a pretty good hit in there as the ball came out. And the fumble, by the way, caused by Dennis Jordan. Jordan had a fumble return for a touchdown earlier in the postseason against A&M Consolidated and caused a big-time fumble there. So we'll get started again. Brannon out of the game. Into the game in his place, Christian Reyes in the backfield. Got 1 receiver right, 1 receiver left. Out of the shotgun. Turn, give to Reyes. Reyes trying to get to the right. He does. He's pushed back by Ashton Logan. As you can hear the crowd react, that's a gain of about 3 yards, setting up a 3rd down and 5. But the big hit from Ashton Logan sent Reyes flying.
Our little sophomore who hits like a senior.
So it is a 3rd down and 5. At the Viper 47-yard line, need to take it into Temple territory to the 48. You can hear the Wildcat crowd as we've got the crowd mic hooked up. Not all of them back from halftime yet. A 24-minute halftime to the 28 minutes, so a little slow getting back. It is a zone read. It's going to be a keeper for Hudson. Nowhere to go. Leans forward, nowhere near the first down. Maybe a yard gain before the whistle is blown. And that'll bring up a 4th down and decision time for the Vipers as they are 3 yards shy of the first down.
I think they'll go for it.
39 yards on 8 carries. Now here comes the punting unit as Hudson heads for the sideline. But again,
like you say, that punter, you got to watch it. This could be a fake.
I mean, really, when you've got a punter, and they use number 10, Culver Sumner, a quarterback and wide receiver, they use him as their punter, and he has the best leg I've seen of any punter this year by far. Latouche isn't even back deep. They're playing it safe, wanting to keep an eye on this punter. Of course, he's got a great leg, though, so he is a weapon. He just puts his leg into it in a perfect spiral, bounces at the 12, inside the 5, rolling, and it's inside the 1. I thought it hit the end line, but they're saying it was stopped short of the goal line. I could have swore the tip of that ball hit the goal line, but it's going to be 99.5 yards for the Wildcats to go. And we're looking at the replay. I think that those reps missed that one. Either that or that is the best special teams play I've seen in high school football in a long time.
He was on the line. Should have been a touchback.
So the Wildcats will have it inside their own 1-yard line. Not a time for mistakes. President, 9 out of 11 for 121 yards and a touchdown in the first half. 36 yards on the ground and another touchdown. Hatcher in the backfield to the right of President. 2 receivers split wide right, 1 left. Zone read play. Hatcher right up the middle. Breaks an arm, tackles the line of scrimmage. Across the 5, across the 10, across the 15 before being run out of bounds. No flag on the play. And that's going to be a Las Topeka Jewelers first down. Hatcher wanting a flag thrown on the far side of the field for a late hit out of bounds. But Hatcher was hit right at the goal line, and a missed tackle allowed him to get out to about the 20-yard line. That's exactly where they have him marked. 19 yards on the play.
Did they throw a flag on the sideline over there?
They threw a flag, yes, but I'm not sure who it's going to be called on. Sounds like it's against Temple by the crowd reaction.
They may have thrown it on Hatcher for
retaliating.
Oh, yeah. I hope this half's going to start off like that.
9:56 left, third quarter. Wildcats had a first and 10 from inside their own 1-yard line. Hatcher took it 19 yards on a great run over the left side, the far side of the field, as the Wildcats move left to right here in the third quarter. It is against Temple, unsportsmanlike.
Is that it after the first down? Or?
After the first down, yes.
Okay.
So it will be a first down and 10 at the 10-yard line. It's half the distance to the goal, but it is a Las Topeka Jewelers first down. And still give 19 yards, 172 yards on the ground now for Hatcher on 17 carries. Out of the gun, turns. Gives it to Hatcher. Hatcher makes a move at the line of scrimmage. Out across the 15. Across the 20, breaking more tackles. Out across the 30. He's still loose. He's to midfield. Down the right side. Cuts back. Down at the 30-yard line.
Oh, he's putting on a show.
That's a run of 60 yards. And a Las Topeka Jewelers first down.
He did that last week in the second half. He just is he got 2 good running backs, folks. 232 yards on the ground for Marcus Hatcher. And we've still got 9:39 to play third quarter. Las Topeka Jewelers first and 10 at the 30 in Viper territory. President from the gun. It is Neely in there now. Neely in to give Hatcher some rest. Wonder where Carr is, as only a yard gain for Neely. I saw Carr on the sideline without his helmet. Now he's on the sideline with his helmet now. Not sure why he's not in the game here. Neely with a 1-yard gain. Temple moving quickly. Second down and 9 as too many players on the field for Vandagriff. Neely breaks a tackle. He's inside the 20, coming from the far side to the near side. Cuts it back inside the 10. Still spinning forward down to the 6-yard line. That's a pickup of 25 yards. And a Las Topeka Jewelers first down. The play should come because Vandagriff did not substitute in time. But if this sticks, it's going to be another great run. He's going to be a running back next year, one of them. He's pretty good. He's had 2 good games in the second halves this year.
Well, Temple is moving back, but I could have swore that this was, okay, it is an offside, so Temple does get the first down. Temple's so used to getting the penalties on them, they were moving back by habit.
That was big.
23 yards on the carry for Neely, who's still in the ball game.
They just had 2 penalties. Twice more they had them, but we declined them because the play was better than the penalty.
First and goal. Las Topeka Jewelers first and goal from the 6. President turns, hands it to Neely, starts left, runs into a wall, gets about 2 before being pushed back. 2-yard gain sets up a second and goal as Hatcher comes back into the game. Again, not sure why we're not seeing Jeff Carr. He's standing on the sideline with his helmet on, but is not near any coaches ready to come back into the game. That's interesting. Second and goal from the 5. They give him 1 yard. Hatcher back in there. They're running the zone read. It's going to be a keeper for President. Untouched. Temple touchdown. 8:29 to play third quarter. And Chad President with a 5-yard Wes's Burger Shack and More touchdown run puts 6 on the board for the Wildcats, who lead it 47-21 with 8:29 to play in the third quarter. Brought Hatcher back in, ran the zone read. And President kept it on the option, went in untouched right up the middle for 5 yards. And the Wes's Burger Shack and more touchdown. And the Wildcats now lead it by 4 touchdowns. Extra point attempt, good snap, good hold. Kick is up, kick is good. Temple Wildcats lead this 5A Division I state semifinal playoff game 48-21 with 8:29 to play in the third quarter. We'll take a break. We're back for more Wildcats football next on KTEM and K1017. You're listening to Temple Wildcats football on KTEM and K1017, KLTD FM Temple, KTEM AM Temple. Our game presented by Scott & White Healthcare. It is time for the El Chico kickoff, brought to you by El Chico on 31st Street in Temple. Stop in and try the Bacon Blanco Chicken, grilled chicken topped with creamy spinach, crisp bacon, cheese, and cilantro. Cole Martin in for the kickoff. The Wildcats leading 48-21 thanks to a 5-yard Wes's Burger Shack and more touchdown run from Chad President. His second on the ground. He's got 41 yards on 6 carries with 2 touchdowns. Martin with the extra point. He pooched it his first time out this half. Gets a running start at it this time. It's high. It's deep. It's returnable from the 2-yard line. Near side of the field, going to the far side. A little bit of a seam, but a great open field tackle. Down to make the stop for the Wildcats. That time was Ben Norman upending the return man. It was Cody Walter on the return. And had he got around him, had he gotten around Norman, he could have picked up some significant yardage. There was a lot of green space.
Norman's a sophomore, and he has played great on these specialty teams here lately.
The Wildcats have the Vipers backed up at their own 17-yard line. 8:22 to play third quarter. Wildcats lead 48-21. Handoff right up the middle to Reyes. We still haven't seen Travis Brannon. A 3-yard gain over the right side. Out to the 20-yard line. It's second down and 7. As we still have not seen Travis Brannon return after being injured.
You know, that happened last week. George Range when their quarterback went down. Now, Brandon's their best running back. He's out of the game.
That's 3,000-plus all-purpose yards this year off the field right now. Zone read, fakes the throw, but off target. And there for the coverage for Derek Grayer. That's going to be a loss of 4 on the plays. They tried to set up the screen pass, but Grayer blew right through the block. And that's a loss of 4 on the pass. Sets up a third down and long for this Vandagriff offense. It's third down and 11 from the 16. Wildcats bring 4. Hudson has to step up away from the pressure now. They've got a spy on him. He still gets away from it. Pass is complete across the 25, down the left sideline, across the 40. Reyes has it into Wildcat territory. He is gone as Ashton Logan took a bad angle at him, and Reyes takes it 84 yards on a third down and 11. And that's good for the Vandegrift touchdown. What a turn of events there. From a possible punting situation to a Viper touchdown in the blink of an eye. And with 7:11 to play in the third quarter, Wildcats lead back down to 21, 48-27.
That's the second long touchdown run they've had where they went to the sideline like that, and they streaked down that sideline untouched. Just a bad...
Well, that was a pass.
Yeah, I know
Hudson scrambling to his left to get away from a lot of Wildcat pressure. They only brought 4. But Ashton Logan just blew it on the near side. No other way to put it. The sophomore finally looked like a sophomore. One of the first times all season. We'll take a break. We're back for the kickoff next. Wildcats lead at 48-28 with 7:11 to play third quarter. You're listening to Temple Wildcats football on KTEM and K1017. Welcome back. You're listening to Temple Wildcats football presented by Scott & White Healthcare on KTEM and K1017. 84-yard touchdown pass for the Vipers. Takes it back to a 20-point game, 48-28. Wildcats lead it. Only one kickoff deep today by Vandagriff. The rest of them have been pooch kicks, near onside kick attempts, and the Wildcats hands team has been in every return today. It's 48-28, 7:11 to play third quarter. Wildcats defense had the Vipers backed up with a backup running back in, but that backup running back coming out of the backfield on a broken play as Hudson was scrambling for pressure to his left, just tossed it to Reyes, and another pooch kick going far side, and over there for the catch is Freeman. He grabs it and goes to the ground. Didn't call for a fair catch, so he could have taken a wallop over there, but he's able to get it and get to the ground before the coverage gets there, and the Wildcats have a Las Topeka Jewelers 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. Actually, do we have a flag? We do. It was an offsides on the Vipers. So I'm sure the Wildcats will just take those 5 yards and already out to the 45-yard line to set this drive with a Las Vegas Jewelers first down.
And that'll count against them. That's their third countable penalty.
And big news for the Wildcats. We saw President go off the field in the first half with an injury. Haven't seen Carr this half, even when Neely, his backup, Brandon Neely, came in for a couple of plays. But Carr is back in there in the backfield. Freeman and Seastruck to the right. Hannon and Curtis to the left. President out of the gun. Play action. The play blown up on the far side. Now President looking for somebody to get open. It's Seastruck into Viper territory, and a block in the back. Unnecessary block in the back coming on Freeman. It's going to take away a first down. That is unbelievable. Freeman did not need to do it. Matter of fact, I didn't even see. He had his hands on him the whole time, so I don't understand.
He blocked him in the back, right in front of us.
Well, the flag's at the 38-yard line. I thought Freeman had his hands on him the whole time, but this will back it up, and it'll take away much of that gain. Only going to be about a 2-yard gain when all is said and done.
See if they call it a spot.
No, it's a pass interference against the offense.
Pushed him off, yeah.
Well, they're saying that Freeman was touching the receiver before, but, Gene, when the quarterback leaves the pocket, doesn't that take that kind of away?
Yeah, but he pushed him around the 50-yard line, and then it took it away, but he had already done it, and then he also got him.
Well, I thought they were calling it on Freeman because he already had his hands on the defender. So it is a first down and 25 all the way back at the 30. President back to pass. He's got time looking down the middle of the field. Freeman's got a step. Pass interference, but Freeman caught it. That's going to be a first down inside the 30-yard line. That is a 40-plus yard pass play. 45 yards. Freeman hit in stride as he was being tackled from behind. And from pass interference on the offense to pass interference on the defense, declined the penalty.
That's right.
45 yards on the pass play to Aaron Freeman, his second big pass play tonight. And that's a Las Vegas Jewelers first down. He's got 2 receptions for 99. No, I'm sorry. He's up over 100. 103 yards. Las Vegas Jewelers first down at the 25. President turns, hands it to Carr, picking, kind of dodging back and forth, falls forward, picks up 5 when there really was nothing available at all.
Absolutely nothing. He just stutter stepped 2 or 3 times and picked up 5.
So a huge play by Chad President, gets all the penalty yards back and more. Now it's second down and 5 at the 20-yard line for the Wildcats. 6.5 left, third quarter. Cats lead at 48-28. President with Carr to his left, out of the gun, turns, gives it to Carr. Carr started right, cuts it back up, only going to pick up about a yard before being brought down. And it's a big third down and 4 coming up for the Wildcat offense.
At least we're in field goal range now. We shouldn't come away with no points. But, we've been doing well on third down all night. Let's do it again.
Third and fourth down, really, President. With Hatcher to his right, I'd look for Hatcher to get it here. Hatcher going left. It's going to be President keeping it right up the middle. He's got the first down yardage inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. Pickup of 6. And a Las Vegas Jewelers first and 10 at the 13-yard line. They're halfway through the third quarter.
How many times has that worked for us? President's doing a great job just going up the middle.
President from the gun turns, gives it to Hatcher. Hatcher waiting for the blocks inside the 10. Falls forward to about the 5-yard line. That's a pickup of 8 on the Las Vegas Jewelers first down. Sets up a second down and short. Brought down on the play by number 23, Edward Tate. So a nice 8-yard run for Hatcher. He's up to 240 on the game.
Sure is.
The give is to Hatcher, picking his way inside, stops shy of the goal line. He does pick up the first down, picks up 3 yards, and a Las Vegas Jewelers first and goal at the 2-yard line. 5:26 left, third quarter. Wildcats lead 48-28 and threatening again. President quickly from the gun, gives to Hatcher. We'll try it again. Hatcher again stopped his yard shy of the end zone. 1-yard gain, and the Wildcats say, let's do it again. And now a late flag again as one of the Wildcats players getting involved, and that is number 58, Philip Lynch. If it's against the Wildcats, it's going to be a big one.
That'll be the third time that unsportsmanlike conduct. If that's saying something, we got to cut that out.
We'll wait and see what the officials have to say. I believe
maybe
it might be going.
Them. Yeah, baby, it is against them.
The Wildcats only pick up a half yard.
That's all right.
It's better than 15 yards in the wrong direction. It is a first and goal. Ball at about the 3-inch line with 5:14 on the clock, third quarter. Hatcher in the ball game. President in the ball game. Minter in the ball game. And the referee has to go over and explain himself over a 6-inch penalty to the coaching staff for Vandagriff when Temple's had about a dozen of those called on them tonight.
This will be the 63rd play of the game for the Wildcats. They run 42 or 105 plays.
Are we having a class reunion between old buddies or a football game? There we go. Now the referee will head back out onto the field. 5:14 on the clock, 48-28 our score. Wildcats lead by 20 and threatening again. Ball inside the 1-yard line with a Las Vegas Jewelers first and goal. These referees, I really need, they're talking to the Wildcats right now, the referee is, but I really think the officials need to pull both teams aside and say, look, this is getting out of hand. We need to stop this and play some football. There have been way too many unsportsmanlike calls. If that's what the official is doing there.
Yeah, that's Bill Theodore, and he calls in college, so that's what he's doing.
Everybody packed in tight, I formation. Chad President looking like a quarterback sneak. It is. Penalty flag thrown on the play. It's a false start against the offense. So take the second Chad President touchdown off the board tonight. And with 5:06, the Wildcats will back up and have to do it from outside the 5-yard line. Total frustration. Third touchdown taken off the board tonight because of penalty for the Wildcats. This one, so far, not quite as severe. But they add up. The Wildcats had a first and goal inside the 10 last week and didn't end up scoring. Hatcher this time, though, plows forward across the goal line. Touchdown, Temple. 4:56 to play third quarter. And the Wildcats lead at 54-28. Nearly doubling up the Vandegrift Vipers. And another flag coming through after the play just came in. And it's going to go against the Vipers again, according to Chad President. So, game is getting a bit chippy. Vipers not used to getting pushed around like this. Their 2 losses this year are by a combined 5 points, so they're not used to this.
No, and we've just run through them. They hadn't even been a roadblock up there. Had one possession, and we had so many penalties on that. I would have scored on it.
249 yards rushing on 21 carries for Hatcher. And he's now got 3 Wes's Burger Shack and more touchdowns on the night. That last Wes's Burger Shack and more touchdown, 6 yards out.
We was talking about coming down there. Bobby Fillmore's going over 300 yards. He said one away from that.
And we still got 17 minutes of football to play. High snap, Hannon handles it. Pressure coming, a flag thrown. And we'll keep it right here to see if we got to re-kick it. There was a Viper player down on the field, but Temple is headed for the sideline. We'll just keep it here until we find out for sure. 4:56 to play. It would be 55-28 if the extra point is good. Another personal foul, so that's 30 coming up on the kickoff. Wildcats may be in field goal range when we come back to the El Chico kickoff. We'll take a break. Back for the kickoff next on K10 and K1017. Welcome back. You're listening to Temple Wildcats football on K10 and K1017, presented by Scott and White Healthcare. Jamie Garrett and Gene Pemberton from the Alamodome. 55-28 our score. Wildcats on top of the Vandegrift Vipers, and the Wildcats have 30 yards in penalties to mark off on this kickoff. They're going to start at the 40 in their own territory. Instead, it'll be at the 30-yard line all the way to Viper territory. They'll mark off the 2 penalties. And, Gene, if you're Temple Wildcats here, all the way down to the 30-yard lines where they're going to kick off, do you try for the onside kick here? Why not?
Well, I think you probably do. I'd put it away.
Absolutely. It's 55-28. 17 minutes of football left, and as we've seen, Vandegrift with a 66-yard touchdown tonight and an 84-yard touchdown tonight. So they certainly do have the ability to score and score quick. You want to minute as many points as possible.
46 yards now and 6 penalties. 4 of those have come since the half.
So here comes Cole Martin with the El Chico kickoff, brought to you by El Chico, 31st Street in Temple. I got to get a picture of this. I've never seen a kickoff from the 30-yard line in the opponent's territory before in my life.
Definitely an onside is
in order. It is an onside kick. They're bringing everybody in close. They try to go straight up the middle on it. Wildcats have a chance, but I believe the Vipers have it at the 15-yard line. It bounced around in there for quite a bit before Temple was able to fall on top of it. And for the Wildcats, just an unlucky bounce of sorts because they had the personnel, they had it.
That's a good call.
And still not very good starting field position because of the penalties. Again, they kicked off from the 30 in Viper territory. And the ball's at the 15-yard line where the Vipers will have it first and 10. 4:55 to play, third quarter. Wildcats lead 55-28. And a defensive stand here away from really putting this game away. as we're more than halfway through the third quarter. Out of the shotgun, 4 wide. Now motion from left into the backfield for an extra blocker. And a play action over the middle of the field. Pass is caught. Clint Cole there with a touchdown-saving tackle out across the 35 to the 36-yard line. A pickup of 21 to their big receiver. I believe that's Paxton Sagina on the reception. So first down all the way out to the 38. So that was a 23-yard reception. Reyes right up the middle across the 40. And a good surge all the way out near the 45. Picks up 7, nearly 8 yards. So Reyes, the backup, into the game. Still no Travis Brannon in his 3,000 all-purpose yards this year, so that's big if he's not back out there. Second down and about 3 or 4. Again, it's going to be a keeper for Hudson going left side. He's got room. He's on across the 50. Ball on the ground. Wildcats have it. Clint Cole is there. Quentin Smith, the man, with the strip, and Clint Cole there for the recovery at the 38. In Temple territory, 4:14 to play third quarter, and a good game by Jamie Hudson. His second turnover of the game, though. The Wildcats defense coming up big. Quentin Smith coming up from behind and knocking that ball loose.
Boy, that was big. Well, we hadn't had a turnover tonight. We're playing good football. And
so here comes Chad President leading the offense out. Carr will be in the backfield. 2 receivers going left, 1 to the right. Mentor in, tight end left. On Velocity Jewelers, 1st and 10 from the 38. Turns, gets to Carr. Carr waiting for something to open up. Stretches out across the 40, near the 41. Only a pickup of about 2.5 on the first down play as we're about to come under 4 minutes to play in the third quarter.
You know, it'd be really good if we score and get this thing put to bed. Then some of these kids been working out every day. Get them to play in the fourth quarter. It'd be super.
Carr kind of limps slowly over to the sideline, and Hatcher's back in there. Hannon and Curtis go left, Freeman to the right. Curtis has been quiet today. It's been a big game for Freeman. Hatcher go to the right, cuts it back up inside. He's across the 45, stretches out to the 47, and very near a first down, about a yard shy after the 6-yard gain. Tackle made on the play that time. Number 18, Zach Schuvner with the stop. 3:20 clock running third quarter. Wildcats lead 55-28. A 6-yard run by Hatcher. 3rd and short to give to Hatcher again, going left. Cuts it back up inside. A spin move. Another spin move. And all that, and Hatcher barely stretches forward near the first down. Might have enough. One official is already signaling first down, and it is a Las Vegas Jewelers first down. So Hatcher did 2 spin moves and a juke move to get 1 yard, but he got just what he needed out to the 48 in Temple territory. Moving under 3 minutes to play before we snap the ball, and the Las Vegas Jewelers first down. Hatcher still in the ball game. To the left up, President in the backfield. President from the gun. Zone read plays. Give to Hatcher. Hatcher over the right side. Nearly fumbled it. Flag thrown to the backfield. It's going to be a penalty coming back against Temple. Going to negate a 13-yard run by Hatcher. That's going to be a hold against Temple or an illegal hand to the face, one of the two. Because this is about the 8th or 9th time a player's lost his helmet tonight. That's kind of crazy to see that this many times, because you got to leave the game if you lose your helmet. We've seen a lot of substitutions because of that. 2:46 on the clock, third quarter. Wildcats lead 55-28, but instead of a 1st and 10 in Viper territory, it's going to be a 1st and 20 way back in Temple territory.
We had movement, but they got penalized for the hold.
Neely back into the game. Devontae Neely is standing to the right of President. 2 receivers right, 1 receiver left. Curtis to the left on the empty side of the field. Neely spins out of 1 tackle, fights forward across the 40. He's only going to pick up about 3 yards. Another late flag coming in. Boy. 26 yards on 3 carries for Neely in the game in his limited action.
I tell you what, Coach Cottle listening to this, I can hear him now. He's done throw the flag and say, keep the flag in your pocket. He tells me that.
It's against Vanderbilt, but Vandagriff this time. 2:32 on the clock, third quarter, and it's a Las Vegas Jewelers first down via penalty for the Temple Wildcats, all the way to the 44 in Viper territory.
Goodness gracious.
So on a second down and about 17, instead of 2nd and 17 after a 3-yard Neely run, it's a 1st and 10 at the 44 in Viper territory. Clock running, 2:20 to play in the third. President Neely still in the game to his left. Haven't seen a lot from Carr this half. The give is to Neely. Neely started up the middle. Now he's trying to get to the outside. He does on the near side. Inside the 40. Inside the 35. Pushing forward. Down to the 29-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of 15 yards and another Las Vegas Jewelers first down.
That's a good little runner. His grandpa come up, remember, at Pflugerville. Say hello to it. He's proud of that boy. Had his name on his jersey.
41 yards rushing on just 4 carries for Devontae Neely, as he has been spelling Jeff Carr here in the second half. Only a couple of carries for Carr, and he walked slowly to the sideline last time. Las Vegas Jewelers first down to 29. The play action. President has Minter wide open, untouched for the Temple touchdown. 29 yards from Chad President to Chris Minter. And the Wildcats put 6 on the board with 91 seconds left in the third quarter. It's 61-28, Wildcats leading.
3 straight weeks he's hit Minter on that little tight end across the middle. Touchdown in every case.
So the Wes's Burger Shack and More touchdown from President to Minter. With the Wildcats up by 33 with the extra points still to come.
Down.
The snap, good hold. The kick is up. The kick is good. Wildcats lead it by 34, 62-28. A minute 31 left in the third quarter. We'll take a break and back for the El Chico kickoff next. You're listening to Temple Wildcats football on KTIM and K1017. Welcome back. You're listening to Temple Wildcats football on KTIM and K1017. Jamie Garrett with Gene Pemberton from the Alamodome in San Antonio with Angel Aguilar, our spotter here tonight. Occasional spotter. He's still got some growing to do. He forgets from time to time, but it's okay. I do too. Paul back in the studio. We appreciate him. Appreciate all our sponsors being with us. State semifinals in 5A Division I. The kickoff brought to you by El Chico on 31st Street in Temple. Stop in for your holiday gift cards. Get a $25 gift card and get a $5 gift card free, limit 4. Temple leads 62-28 after a 29-yard Wes's Burger Shack and More touchdown pass from President to Minter. Squib kick or a pooch kick, and Temple blew through the fair catch, as that was Rogers Franklin that came through there and put the hit to the receiver, who's slow to get up now. And it'll be a fair catch interference call. Personal foul will be 15 yards across midfield, and good starting field position for the Vipers, who have scored tonight. They've had 2 drives that have had a 66-yard and a flag coming through that'll negate the 15 yards against the Wildcats. An unsportsmanlike call against Vandegrift from one of the players running off the field with something to say to the officials. That was Ryan McGee, a senior defensive back. You wouldn't expect that from a senior, but we've seen a lot of this going back and forth tonight.
They should just be offsetting. No, it's dead ball, so they're going to step them.
Doesn't make any sense. Step 15 off and back 15 yards. Yeah. Doesn't make much sense, especially considering we've been playing for 2.5 hours already and still have 13.5 minutes of football left, as we've had we've had over 90 points scored. Well, exactly 90 points scored tonight. A lot of penalty yards, a lot of offense for the Wildcats. Marcus Hatcher has a chance with 45 more yards tonight to go over 300 yards rushing, although I have a feeling from here on out we're going to see a lot of Devontae Neely. Probably not going to see much from Jeff Carr and Chad President. I would think if this goes out to one more score or goes 5 more minutes with this lead, we won't see Chad President anymore.
I wouldn't think so. We've run 70 plays already, and we still got a quarter to go. They ran 45.
A lot of penalties, a lot of chippiness on both sides. I don't think I've ever seen this many unsportsmanlike and personal fouls called, really against both teams, in a football game before, especially in a big game like this where you got to keep your head.
Well, that team, when they get to realizing that they're out of the state playoffs, we'll have to see a bunch more in the fourth quarter.
And the Wildcats have done a great job this year avoiding, especially when being up big, they've avoided those kind of penalties. And now I guess they're not going to mark off the penalty, the 15 yards against the Vandagriff player. So that's kind of interesting.
It is. That official on the other side told him he didn't need to. Coach Spradlin wants to talk to him.
Yeah, and Coach Spradlin just exasperated. You can tell with his body language, like, is this the first football game for this crew? And that type of play right there where one official comes in and negates another on an opinion call is just utterly ridiculous. That's not the kind of things you would hope to be seeing at this point in the playoffs from the officials. Certainly don't want to see it from the players, but these officials have had a rough go of it tonight, to say the least. A minute 31 play, third quarter. 1st and 10 for the Vipers at the 41 in Temple territory after the phantom penalty call. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Hudson in the backfield. Play action to Reyes. He has time to pass. Now he's going to step up. He's going to run for it. Now he's going to throw it off target. His intended target was number 3. That's the second time tonight we've seen Hudson very near the line of scrimmage, and instead of running it to pick up 10 yards, he is a running quarterback. He decides to pass it, and both times he's been off target.
Well, Hudson is going to Yale. He's going to be a quarterback. He's smart as a whip. He's also smart enough to know he got hit pretty hard, and he's not running anymore.
Very good point, Gene. I had not thought about that aspect of it. 2nd down and 10 out of the shotgun. Hudson. Another play-action pass. He's looking to the left. He's got a man. Clint Cole's got good coverage. Nearly picked off inside the 10-yard line. Cole diving for it. The receiver intended target that time was Paxton Sagina. And I thought Paxton may have been interfered with right as that ball left Hudson's hands. Cole got a shot on him about 15 yards downfield, but it must have been right before the pass came away. It's a 3rd and 10 for the Vipers. You know it's 4-down territory on the Temple side of the field. A minute 14 to play, third quarter. Hudson moving the pocket right. Temple bringing the house. A flag thrown. It's going to be a holding call in the backfield as Hudson just throws it away. Wildcats.
The spot was 49 in Leander because I saw just like you did where he threw it. And let's see if it's a spot foul or they go back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, if it's in the backfield, they'll just mark off 10 from the line of scrimmage. Interesting to see whether they'll have a 4th and 10 or a 3rd and 20 here. They're going to give them a 4th down, so 4th and 10. Instead of backing them up 10, making them do 3rd down over again, they say, we'll take our chances, one more play here. A minute 3 left in the third quarter. Wildcats lead 62-28. And a 4th down and 10. Temple outscoring the Vipers 27-7 in the second half after being up by 20 at halftime, 41-21.
They don't make it this time. They'll start singing like Don Meredith did.
Out of the gun, Hudson with 3 receivers right now, 1 in motion into the backfield from the right side. Quick play action. Hudson unloads it quickly. He's got a man and caught inside the 30 at the 24-yard line. A pickup of 17 yards. Nice sliding catch for Derek Grayer on the coverage, but not nearly in time as 17 yards picked up by Fernandez.
Yeah, that was a good throw and a good catch.
Hudson getting the offense set on the first down at the 24 in Temple territory. 45 to play. The gift to Reyes right up the middle. He broke through 1 tackle, able to get down to the 17 for a pickup of 7 yards. Made up a 2nd down and 3. Reyes in the game because Travis Brannon was injured and has not made a return to the ball game. Hudson looking at the sideline as there's 25 seconds left in the third quarter. Hudson's got 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Christian Reyes in the backfield with Hudson. And Hudson, they're either going to try a trick play, trying to catch Temple off guard at the end of the quarter here, or they're going to let this wind down to the end of the third quarter. And if they do, that's kind of interesting to think that down 34, that they're already calling the ball on this one. And that will bring us to the end of the third quarter.
So really
wonder if the Vipers have kind of called this one in already. We've reached the final 12 minutes of football here in the State 5A Division I playoffs with the Wildcats leading 62-28. We'll take a break. We're back for the fourth quarter next. You're listening to Temple Wildcat Football on K10 and K1017. Welcome back. You're listening to Temple Wildcat Football on K10 and K1017. Jamie Garrett and Gene Pemberton on KTEM AM Temple, KLTD FM Temple. 12 minutes of football left for a trip to Arlington and a state championship game appearance on the line for the Wildcats, who lead by 34 at the start of the fourth quarter, 62-28. It's a 2nd down and 4 for the Vipers in the red zone against the Temple defense at the 18-yard line. Vipers being outscored 27-7 here in the second half, but they are threatening for the first time since the third quarter, early in the third quarter, rather. Everybody shifting from left to right, trying to catch Temple off guard. Temple adjusts accordingly, and everybody over the right. Pressure coming from the backside. Hudson into the end zone. Grayer is there, and Grayer with great coverage. No, man. Comes in late. That is a bailout call by the official on the far side of the field. The farthest official in the defensive backfield on that side.
Yeah.
threw the penalty flag. That is a complete and total bailout. Grayer was out of position.
He can't see it from over there.
But he got back into position, and that is just expecting a call, so you throw a penalty flag. Again, what can you say that hasn't been set up to this point in time? People out here to see it probably just think sour grapes. They probably, although we are winning. But this is just unreal.
It's not just here. Listen, last week to Cameron, because I pull for Cameron all the time, and Ed Colley, who was in coaching for years, he said, "What's that guy throwing the flag for? He can't
see it." The first and goal, Hudson out of the shotgun. He's going to step up. Will he run for it? It's into the end zone. Touchdown, Vipers, as the pass is complete on the far side of the field to Bear Christensen. Hauls it in from 3 yards out. So with a couple of assists from the officials, from the beginning of that drive on where they took the 15-yard penalty against the Vipers off the books, the officials just gift-wrapped that and played Dirty Santa to the Temple Wildcats, giving that drive to the Vipers the length of the field. It's 62-34 with the extra point to come. Extra point up and good. Wildcats lead 62-35. Still some football left to be played here at the Alamodome. 11:45 left in the fourth quarter. We'll take a break. We're back with more Temple Wildcat football next on KTEM and K1017. Welcome back. You're listening to Temple Wildcats football on KTEM and K1017. Jamie Garrett and Gene Pemberton from the Alamodome at 62-35. Temple leads in the 5A Division 1A, Division 1 state semifinals. Aledo punched their ticket earlier today with a 44-14 win over a very tough John Tyler team. Aledo, back-to-back defending state champions, await the winner of this game tonight, either the Wildcats or a tremendous comeback from the Vipers, to determine who makes it to that championship game next week. A 3-yard touchdown pass from Jamie Hudson to Bear Christensen after a questionable pass interference call against Videric Grayer, and it's 62-35. High, deep kickoff. Interesting that they're, again, not trying to get an onside kick, get possession of the ball back down to the end zone. It'll be a Las Vegas Jewelers first down at the 25-yard line with 11:45 left in the ball game. So for the Wildcats, stay healthy and keep your foot on the accelerator offensively. You score another touchdown here. It's going to take the miracle of miracle comebacks, kind of like heard a lot of talk about this week with the anniversary of the comeback that never was, featuring John Tyler, by the way, and it takes you back to that. Yep, they would take that kind of comeback from the Vipers. So here come the Wildcats. Chad President back out there, Hatcher out there, Davion Curtis split to the near side, Freeman and Hannon split wide to the right, Minter in, tight end right. Las Vegas Jewelers first down from the 25. President from the gun. It is a give to Hatcher. Hatcher busts through the first wave, now comes down to the near side. Nearly fumbled the ball as you can hear the crowd react. A gain of 5 out to the 30. Hatcher bobbled the ball straight up in the air, came back down into his hands. Greg Goolsby there on the stop. It's 2nd and 5, under 11.5 to play in the ball game. You'd expect now the Wildcats maybe slow things up and run some clock here, but with 20 on the play clock, President's ready to go. 2 receivers right, 1 left. President does take a few extra seconds here. And it is a give to Hatcher. All sorts of room down on the left side. First down yardage and more. Out across the 40. Out across the 50. Inside the 45. Into Viper territory. Should have been a penalty out of bounds. No call on the play. That one goes 27 yards. And another Las Vegas Jewelers first down. And Hatcher now getting dangerously close to that 300-yard mark.
He's right there. Hey, 287.
Absolutely. 287, 13 yards shy. First down at the Viper 43. Neely back in there. Neely started right, makes a nice move, coming back to the left. He's got all sorts of daylight, and Chad President blocking out in front. Inside the 25 as President got a pancake block. Neely cuts back inside the 10, very nearly. Took it the distance. He's brought down at the 8-yard line. That is a huge 34-yard run.
He's going to be a good one. He's got 75 yards.
So a Las Vegas Jewelers first and goal at the 8-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle from Culver Sumner. But what a job by Chad President to get out in front and really have the block that sprang that for an extra 20 yards. He pancaked the defender.
That's why he's so admired by his teammates. They really look up to him.
10-19, clock running, fourth quarter. Wildcats looking for more, first and goal. The give is really going right. He is brought down, hit hard at the 6-yard line. That's a pickup of just a couple.
We didn't have a flag, did we?
Only 1 yard on the gain. Brought down that time.
Left tackle.
By Sammy Zug. Hard to say. Sammy Zug brought him down. Only a 1 yard gain. Second down and goal from the 6 yard line for the Wildcats. 9:50 clock running, fourth quarter. Wildcats lead 62-35, and now very obviously running some clock as the play clock down at 12, and President still staring over at Coach Spradlin. Now gets the offense set. Play clock down at 7. 2 receivers left. President with Neely in the backfield to his left. The give is to Neely. Right up the middle. Cuts through. Brought down at the 3 yard line. That's a pickup of 3. Sets up a 3rd and goal with under 9.5 to play in the ball game. 79 yards rushing on just 7 carries for Devontae Neely as the Wildcats continue to run clock. Aaron Freeman checking back into the ball game. Hannon out of the ball game. So Freeman will go right. Curtis to the left. Curtis has been quiet. Only 2 receptions tonight for 15 yards, but Freeman's had a big one, 99 yards on 2 receptions and a touchdown. Under 9 to play in the ball game. Trip to the state finals in 5A Division I on the line. AT&T Stadium in Arlington. President out of the gun. Running the option play. It's going to be a keeper for President. Up the middle. Touchdown Temple. As President has his 3rd touchdown on the ground. That one puts him at an even 50 yards rushing on 8 carries. His 3rd touchdown. The Wes's Burger Shack had more touchdown run of 3 yards. Puts the Wildcats up 68-35.
They stopped that run all night.
Yeah, President's kept him honest all night. And has done more than that. He's made big plays that way all night. He's got 3 touchdowns on the ground, 2 more in the air, 5 total touchdowns for the Baylor commit.
76 plays.
On for the extra point. Kick is up. Kick is good. We still got 8:44 left in the ball game, but the Wildcats lead at 69-35. We'll be back for the El Chico kickoff right after this. You're listening to Temple Wildcat Football on KTEM and K1017. You're listening to Temple Wildcat Football, KTEM, K1017, online at KTEMnews.com or K1017FM.com, and on the free Radio Pup app for your tablet or smartphone. Jamie Garrett, Gene Pemberton from the Alamodome. 8:44 left in the ball game with the trip to the state finals on the line, and Temple in cruise control. 69-35 our score as Chad President gets his 3rd rushing touchdown of the game. Wes's Burger Shack and more touchdown. Leads us to this, the El Chico kickoff, brought to you by El Chico on 31st Street in Temple. Pooch kick coming near side down to the 35-yard line there to grab it as Bear Christensen. And it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Vipers, moving left to right here in the fourth quarter at their own 35-yard line.
Old Bear stays up there and catches him punch, then the kickoff.
A big one. He can reach up and grab it out of the ceiling, it seems like. Our game presented by Scott & White Healthcare. Don't get sidelined by injuries. Call Scott & White Healthcare at 254-724-2111 for an appointment. Fourth quarter brought to you by Smile at the World Orthodontics, Dr. Barron and the staff. 8:44 left in the game. Temple leads by 34. Out of the gun. The give is to Reyes. Coming to the right. Looking to get to the edge. He does not. But Derek Grayer got called with a big pass interference penalty that last drive that led to a touchdown. Holds Reyes to only a 2-yard gain. And again, the big story offensively for the Vipers is Travis Brandon went down with an injury and has not been back since. So that has been a big loss. 3,100 yards plus of total offense this year. Not in the game for the Vipers.
And same thing last week when their quarterback got hurt. He didn't play the second half.
69-35 our score. About to move under 8 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. No big hurry for the Vipers. Out of the shotgun. Hudson back to pass. Swing pass out of the backfield. He's got some room out in front of him. Reyes, who had an 84-yarder on the last drive, or a couple drives ago, knocked out of bounds by Clint Cole, but a pickup of 8. And it's enough for a first down out to the 45-yard line in Viper territory with 7:51 left in the ball game. So a nice 8-yard pickup. Brings Reyes' average down from 84 yards a catch quite significantly. 46 yards a catch now. 1st and 10 at the Viper 45-yard line. Out of the shotgun, Hudson, play action. Pressure coming, scrambles away from it, gets away from Ethan Brown. Now pressure still coming. Tries to stiff arm, and
that's in ground.
Well, the flag came before he threw it away, so it's either going to be a face mask against Temple or a face mask against the Vipers. at the 30-yard line. We'll get a look at the replay. I think when he tried to stiff-arm Quentin Smith, he got the face mask, and hands to the face is going to be the call.
Referee threw that, but here it came the line judge came up and threw the second one. Let's see what we got.
The pass was incomplete as he did just throw the ball away. That should be, well, he was out of the pocket, but I don't think he got the ball back to the line of scrimmage, so that should be intentional grounding if nothing else. But again, our mind's been blown a couple times tonight with the officials, so let's see what they have to say.
I think that's, you got it right.
It is hands to the face against Jamie Hudson.
Yeah.
So it will still be a first down, but it'll be a 1st and 25. And the intentional grounding, I guess, was declined.
Yeah, that's what the second flag was for. They just took the penalty.
198 yards, 197 yards passing in the game for Jamie Hudson. A couple touchdowns. He has been picked off, has fumbled once. So he's had an up-and-down game. And offensively, 35 points scored. That's a pretty good game offensively for any team in the playoffs, especially in the state semifinals. But when you look across and see that 69 on the board for the Wildcats, doubling up the Vipers at this point in time, basically. That's where the Vipers have struggled this season, giving up over 35 points a game, despite scoring nearly 50 a game. From the shotgun, ball at the 30-yard line for Jamie Hudson, as the referee's still over talking to the Vipers coaches, explaining what happened. 7:39 left in the game. Each team with all 3 timeouts left.
86 yards and penalties against them now, as they have rapidly caught up in the second half.
The officials certainly getting their money's worth tonight. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Hudson out of the gun on a 1st and 25. It's a quarterback run to the left, hit the backfield, gets away, and out across the 35, delivers a big-time blow on the Temple defender that time. That was Eduardo Escobedo that took a big hit from Hudson, but did get the job done getting him out of bounds. That's only a 5-yard gain when it looked like it could have been a little bit more than that.
Hudson going to Yale in the last 2 carries. He done got a face mask or hands to the face, and then he put the blow on in. He's not afraid to hit somebody.
Clock is stopped with 7:32 to play in the game with Hudson running out of bounds. 2nd down and 20. Hudson back to pass. No pressure. Able to unload it and throws behind his intended target. Paxton Seguina was wide open. He had dropped in between in the zone. Found a soft spot in there behind the linebackers and ahead of the deep safety. And had he caught it, would have been enough for a first down, but you never know what happens in the open field. So it's 3rd and 20 at the Viper 35-yard line. Clock stops, 7:24 to play in the game. Big 3rd down for the Temple defense. Chance to get off the field here and really put this one away. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Hudson, pressure coming immediately. There it is, ball on the ground. Hudson scrambles for it. We're seeing who's got it. The officials say Temple has it. Ball at the 28-yard line in Viper territory, and that, folks, could do it. That was Marquel Davis-Ponce that came through there, stripped the ball, and not sure who came up from underneath the bottom of the pile. Number 90 for the Wildcats, Lamonte Williams, another sophomore, and another flag thrown on the field well after the play had ended. So it's Temple ball at the 28-yard line, but we'll see where the flag is going to put the ball when all is said and done.
That's unsportsmanlike conduct. They're going over 100 yards.
7:16 left in the ball game, and for the Wildcats, putting one more nail in the coffin, up by 34 points.
Two fumble recoveries and 1 interception, and we don't have a turnover, so that's big.
Unsportsmanlike against Temple, so we'll back them up 15.
Well, that'll put us over 100.
And of all the things that have gone great tonight for the Wildcats, a lot to be happy about. Penalties aside, holding, false start, stuff like that, the unsportsmanlike penalties and the personal foul penalties for the Wildcats, completely unacceptable.
Yeah.
At this point in the season. Big lead or not, you got to play smarter than that, and we are seeing some backups in there now. Cole Martin into the ball game at quarterback. So Chad President's night is done. Devontae Neely to the left of Martin in the backfield. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Got some new receivers in there. We'll get you some of their numbers. Neely's got some room and a blocker out in front. He's inside the 35, slips a tackle, gets around another, gets out of another tackle. He's still on his feet inside the 25-yard line, down to the 24. That's a pickup of 20 yards and a Lot-Topeka Jewelers first down. Finally brought down by Ryan McGee on the play. But Devontae Neely is exciting to watch.
Right at 100 now. He going to get there. He's just the other way.
99 yards rushing. Hatcher finished the ballgame with 287 yards rushing, and Carr 171 yards rushing.
Give it to Neely and let him get that yard.
It's the Las Vegas Jewelers 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. Temple running clock, play clock down to 10 before they finally get set. We are under 7 minutes to play in this game. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left on the first down. It is a give to Neely, started right, comes back left, cuts it up the middle, and again runs over a couple of defenders before being brought down at the 18-yard line. That's a pickup of 6 yards.
He's over 100.
Makes it 2nd and 4, brought down on the play by Edward Tate.
3 runners, 3 running backs, over 100 yards. 2 of them, one nearly 300, one nearly 200.
Would have been nice to see Hatcher get that 300-yard mark, but 13 yards is not worth an injury at this point in the game.
No.
Need everybody, all hands on deck next Saturday, 12 noon start. From AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Temple Wildcats looking for their first state championship since 1992. Only 6 minutes plus to hang on here with a 34-point lead. The give is to Neely, all sorts of room. He's inside the 10. And goes through for the Temple touchdown. 18 yards for the Wes's Burger Shack and more touchdown. And the Temple Wildcats sitting at 75 points. And the extra points still to come. 5:53 to play in the ball game.
That running back slot's not going to be there next year, I'll tell you that.
123 yards rushing on 10 carries tonight, averaging 12 yards a carry for Devontae Neely. Came in some critical times, too, and played really, really well. High snap handled by Hannon. Kick is down. Kick is good. Wildcats lead it 76 to 35. An incredible game for the Wildcats. Still 5:53 to play in the game. We'll take a break. We're back for the El Chico kickoff next on KTIM and K1017. Welcome back. You're listening to Temple Wildcats football on KTIM and K1017, presented by Scott & White Healthcare. Our fourth quarter brought to you by Smile at the World Orthodontics, Jamie Garrett and Gene Pemberton from the Alamodome, 5A Division I state semifinals, and it's all Temple Wildcats leading 76 to 35. The backups are in for the offense. Still, they take it down the field like a hot night through warm butter, I believe is the phrase. Still 5:53 to play in the game. And for the Wildcats, just an opportunity to get some more experience for the younger guys, the backups, and to see if we can go the rest of the way without any more personal foul or unsportsmanlike penalties. That would be big. A pooch kick taken at the 25-yard line. The return man runs into his own guy before falling to the turf. Returned by Culver Sumner. Brought down on the play for the Wildcats by Dennis Jordan. 5:42 left in the ball game. Temple leads it 76 to 35. And here comes the Temple defense. I do not see, well, there's Taquan Graham out there, Marquel Davis-Ponce, Eduardo Escobedo. So it looks like the defensive backfield, for the most part, is in there, although Clint Cole is out and Isaac Cole in his place. But Videric Grayer's out there, Escobedo. And other than that, defensive line's got Taquan Graham, and then all backups, the other 3 linemen and the 2 linebackers. So Temple getting some backups in here. We'll see how the Vipers respond against the backup defense with 5:42 to go in the game. They give us to Reyes right up the middle, but Temple plugging up the hole nicely, only about a half yard on the gain for Reyes, the backup running back for the Vipers. We have not seen the starter in quite a while. Brought down on the play by Tyreek Tucker after the 1-yard gain.
Well, the backup Reyes is a little behind our backup.
Behind both of our backups.
Yeah.
The backup to our backup.
Yeah, that's right.
Clock running 5:14. Vipers in no hurry here. Jamie Hudson still in at quarterback. Again, have not seen Travis Brannon. He had 3,000-plus total yards of offense. As Hudson just going to roll out to the left. Temple blowing through there, giving up a lane, and across 50 down the left side goes Hudson. And finally run out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. Took it from the 32 in Viper territory all the way across midfield. Hudson picks up his biggest gain on the ground thus far, all the way to the 43-yard line.
They go straight to that sideline on there. 3 big gainers tonight have all been at the sideline.
25-yard rush for Hudson, his long for the game. And that sets up a first down in Temple territory. Clock stopped, 4:53 to play in the ball game, and a long look over to the sideline. Wish that clock was running here, but play clock's already down to 7. Vipers are probably going to take a timeout here after not getting the play in until far too long into this. They do somehow get the play off as it starts right. Temple had it blown up, couple of his tackles, and there Quentin Smith, I believe, coming through and blowing that up. Did he sneak back into the game?
Go, Coxie. Boy, that was
1 yard gain on the play and some pushing and shoving after the play.
Big gang tackle.
That was actually Ashton Logan that came in there for a nice stop. 1 yard gain made 2nd and 9.
Got a bunch of sophomores in there. Logan's a sophomore, too, even though he's a starter.
4:20 to play in the ball game. Wildcats lead it 76-35. A 41-point lead. The snap. Hudson keeps it started right, cuts back to the left, trying to get to the outside on the far side. Escobedo there. Also there to make the stop for the Wildcats. Leonard Ferris. A gain of about 3 sets up a 3rd down and 6. As again, more pushing and shoving between both these teams. Even the backups in there with a bit of an attitude for the Wildcats. There's a flag on the far side of the field as another Viper player lost his helmet. Clock stopped, 3:58 to play. I guess no flag thrown. Ball to the 39-yard line, a pickup of 3 on that last run.
I wonder what caused all them helmets to come off tonight.
Good, hard footballs. I'm sure what we're going to hear from the coaches if we ask.
Well, I don't want to make liars out of them. But something's going on there.
Under 3:40 to play in the ball game as Hudson in the gun, running left. That same play they had earlier. Taquan Graham forced him to the outside this time as Hudson lowers his shoulder, picks up another yard or two. Still well shy of the first down with 3:30 on the clock as he runs out of bounds to stop the clock. And the ring up a 4th down for the Viper offense. Going to be 4th and about 4, maybe 5. Yeah, they'll say 5 yards after only a 1 yard gain there.
Boy, you know, those guys, the season going down the range gets beat like a wash tub. That's got to be tough on them.
You can hear the Wildcat crowd getting behind their defense on a 4th down late in this ball game. It's going to be a timeout called by Vandagriff because the play clock again was all the way down to 0. And so the Vipers will take a timeout with 3.5 left, a big 4th down coming up for the Temple defense when we get back. You're listening to Temple Wildcat football on KTEM and K1017. Welcome back. You're listening to Temple Wildcats football, KTEM, K1017. Our game presented by Scott & White Healthcare. Don't get sidelined by injuries. Scott & White Healthcare can treat all of your sports injuries. Call 254-724-2111 for an appointment. Fourth quarter presented, brought to you by Smile at the World Orthodontics. It is a 4th down, 4th and 5 for the Vipers against the Temple backups at the 38-yard line in Temple territory. 3.5 to play in the ballgame. 76-35, Temple in the lead. And a chance to get off the field once again as Hudson sends 2 receivers left, 2 right, back to pass, looking left, throws it left, and nowhere near his intended target underthrown. And the Wildcats defense holds once again as the Vipers offense is not able to move the ball against the Temple second-string defense.
First plays for them tonight. Temple's run 80 so far.
Certainly is a big moment for the Wildcats. Second-string defense able to keep the offense from scoring any more. And it's 76-35, 41-point lead, 3:22 to play in the game. A trip to AT&T Stadium wrapped up for the Wildcats in less than 3.5 minutes. 2 receivers left, 1 right again. The backups to the backups are in for the Wildcats. Number 19 in at quarterback now, Brett Wilson. And he's got the 4th-string Temple running back to his right, and he'll take it right up the middle for about 6 yards. Trying to find out who that young man is. Number 30, is that who that is?
You know, is it Bourbon?
It is Bourbon, yes.
Yeah, because he did a good job this year earlier in the second half of some of those games.
So here comes Carlos Bourbon. He is out there with quarterback Brett Wilson. Wilson, the 3rd-string quarterback into the game for the Wildcats. Cole Martin only came out for a series and scored on that series, so try 3rd string. If Temple scores here, we'll put Gene in at quarterback next drive.
We'll start off slow and then taper off.
Out of the gun, the give is to Bourbon over the left side. Picks up 3, sets up a 3rd down and 2 as we move under 2.5 minutes to play in the ball game. Temple leading by 41.
Boy, got a lot of offense tonight. My goodness.
So Bourbon, a couple of nice runs right up the middle. Temple will be under 2 minutes left in the game by the time the next snap comes around, as we've got all sorts of guys out there in the ball game tonight. Jordan Lee into the game at receiver.
That's super. Those kids practice hard, and they're getting to play in a state semifinal game.
Out of the gun, Wilson turns, gives it to Bourbon, started up the middle, cuts left. He picks up the Las Vegas Jewelers first down across midfield to the 48-yard line. In the Viper territory, a pickup of 6 yards in a Las Vegas Jewelers first down with 1:49 left in the game.
Las Vegas sure making a lot of first downs tonight.
Wilson sends Bourbon back, and that'll be it as far as plays tonight for the Wildcats. It's all about taking a knee at this point in time. Still 20 seconds on the play clock. But this Temple Wildcat team tonight, I think, got their point across. And the state of Texas, if they weren't paying attention yet, they will have to pay attention next Saturday, 12 noon, will be the start time at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Jerry World, a beautiful facility, will have a gang load of Temple Wildcat supporters next Saturday.
Look at those kids out there on the field. They're leading the cheers. They're so tickled to be out there playing. I'm glad for them. Look at that. They just got Coach Bradley.
Got him with the bucket of water. Spradlin's a little soggy now, but hugs all around to his assistant coaches as they continue to get players back on the sideline. 48 seconds, and Temple will have to just take one more knee. Well, they may have to take 2 more knees if they snap it outside of 40. Well, right at 40. That's a smart heads-up play by Brent Wilson. He waited until there was 40 on the clock, took a knee, and that is the ball game. They get Coach Stewart with the Gatorade bath as well. Coach Stewart with his first Gatorade bath.
Good.
He's shaking ice off of him all the way down to the 30-yard line. The Temple Wildcats, state championship game bound.
That's super.
5A Division I state finals next Saturday, 12 noon. In Arlington at AT&T Stadium, Temple Wildcats taking on the Aledo Bearcats for the 5A Division I state title. 22 years since the Wildcats last won a state championship, and they'll have a chance next week. It's going to take their best game of the season. We say that every week, and every week we seem to get it. Do they have one more in them after a 76-35 win tonight, as dominating a state semifinal game as you're going to see? And, of course, Aledo got their win 44-14 today over a very tough John Tyler team. But this Wildcats team just came out and dropped 76 on the Vandagriff Vipers. Not a great defense, but certainly this is more about the Wildcats tonight than it is about the Vipers of Vandagriff, who played hard, played with a lot of spunk, as the personal foul penalties and unsportsmanlike conduct will attest. They got under the Wildcats' skin at times tonight and really got the Wildcats to make some bonehead moves. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I mean, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids will do that, but the Wildcats, up to this point in time anyway, have been much smarter than to allow a team to get under their skin, as Freeman rolling around on the ground at midfield like a kid playing in the snow for the first time. All sorts of excitement for the Temple Wildcats as they head over and get ready for the school song. We'll take a break. We're going to come back with the post-game show brought to you by Coach's Properties. Call Ryan or Ronnie at 254-718-9630 or stop in at 3011 North Main in Belton. Call coachesproperties.com. You know what? Before we go to break here, I'm going to give you a little taste. Let's listen to the school song here for those of you that aren't here tonight. There you have it from the Alamodome. Temple Wildcats win it 76-35. We'll get you those final numbers with the Coach's Properties post-game show coming up just a few moments from now. You're listening to Temple Wildcat football on KTEM and K1017.